Hello, hello, everyone. I don't know if you can see me in here anywhere talking. Um, I don't know if I can move this or this little in here. Uh, I move. Um, let's see. Where's my avatar picture? Hello, is anybody in the broadcast here with me? I'm waiting for people to show up. So, um, yeah, we're here to talk about summer. So, um, I'm ready. I'm ready to um, talk with you all about this. See if I can bring up the old broadcast on here and videos, destination. Hello. Oh, I already got three people there. Hey, Justice, how are you doing? And TJ Cook. Hello. How is everybody tonight? I kind of did a little change on my background here. Um, but I can't really see myself. I don't know how to fix it to where I can see myself on here. So I'm going to try to get on here and fix this. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay, let's see. Let me enter the studio on this and see what I got to do here to fix this. Hang on just 1 second, guys. What do y'all want to talk about tonight? Let's see. That's not the same one. I don't know how to enter the regular studio. So I'm gonna clock out of here. Can anybody see my avatar? You can hear me, but you can't see my avatar on there. It's just beautiful. It's snowing here in East Tennessee. Absolutely, I love it. Everything's so quiet and so calm, and just it's absolutely beautiful. It is. I don't know if I can have this background with my avatar, so I might have to switch it to the avatar. Which would you all rather see, the picture of the barn or the avatar? I got quite a few on here tonight. It is beautiful. Me too. Please, more drama. No more drama. Yeah, absolutely. No, I can't handle that. We see this picture. Oh, okay. Would you rather see the barn than the picture? Okay, there we. I thought maybe so. And I could bring you all up too. If I thought I could connect to you all on the computer and my phone, but it looks like only the computer right or the phone right now. But on my face, well, I can bring up my little cow. I usually have her on there. The barn, yeah. I like to talk. I mean, I think it's a pretty scenery and stuff. And but as my title says, how do you all feel about um, the CPS? Um, do you all feel like the CPS may have failed summer in this summer Wells case? Because I did a survey to see if everybody wanted to talk about summer or if they wanted to talk about other crimes, and it seemed like there was quite a bit that wanted to talk about summer. So we can definitely do that today and see what uh, we got here. Let's see. There's a background. It's not really asking me there for the avatar. That and that. Okay. So let me see the banner. I got that on here, and I'm gonna put that on here too. And then we'll go back to comments. But in my opinion, I kind of feel like maybe, um, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what, guys? I actually went back today and I watched Bullhorn Betty, a little bit of her. And that's what she said today. She really did. She said that no matter what, that they did fail her. It's their job to keep her safe. And I mean, I kind of feel that too. They failed the children. Yeah, yeah, I also feel that maybe that they should have checked into that more, especially if they was getting all these calls, several calls from people saying that that this stuff was going on at least the kids should have been pulled aside and talked to, or I mean, they should have at least did a home visit. I don't know if they did do a home visit or not, but I absolutely believe that they should have done a at least a good checkup and take the kids to the side, especially if Leslie did what she said and called about the concrete thing, the blacktop thing. Um, I really think they should have left heels on the ground and what they are doing for summer. Yeah, yeah. I never watched Bill Hor- Bullhorn Betty till today. And a lot of things she did say did make sense. I thought she just was like a big blowhard and was just this big loud person, but actually, she really made a lot of sense in some of the things that she said. And that was one of the things that she actually did say was that Donna Candace, they failed her in every way. I mean, there was a lot of, even if they didn't have anything to do with it, there was a lot of people that was around her that shouldn't have been around her, and those kids was exposed to a lot of bad things, and I think we all know that that's proven fact. That's not made up stuff. That's actually proven fact that they was exposed to a lot of bad things, and because of that, it opened up an opportunity for her to even either be abducted, kidnapped, or something else bad happened to her. We really just don't know, but I do feel like that. Um, I do feel like that the CPS should have looked more into it and not just took it as what it was. Because if people are calling and reporting this stuff, hang on just a second. If people are calling and reporting this stuff and they're not going and thoroughly checking it out, and then a little girl ends up missing or a child ends up dead because of that, which happens so many times, um, then that was their responsibility to make sure that they made sure that that child was safe. I know they have laws, they do, and I know they are bound by laws, but there's so many kids that fall under the crack because of this. Let's see. um, they failed me one and failed every children's been child abuse. To be honest, I'm surviving homicide home. Feel bad for Summer and her brother. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry. I'll be praying for you, and you hang in there. Don't let that control your life. Don't let that be. Don't let that consume your life. God's created you to be the person that you are, and He has a lot in store for you. So, if you got, if you got a lot of PTSD over that, you just try to hold on every day and not let that be what makes you the person that you are. But yeah, they do sometimes they do fail. Amen. Yeah, I say amen too. But they a lot of times they let these little kids in. Hang on one second. Okay, I'm back. um, let's see. Cold case. See, cold case. 1974. I was 3. Thanks. I move on. Thanks. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I am so sorry. So I guess this makes this case of Summer, really close to you because of what happened to you. Um, and I'm so sorry about that because I know that even though you try to get past that, you really it always just seems to creep back up on you. And but don't let that define who you are. And And I feel strongly that that actually has probably the reason why you're so dedicated to the Summer Wells case is because of what happened to you. And you know, they said that the case was almost closed with the CPS, but then they had a 5-year old kid. Yes. Oh, you're lost. Yes. Well, I'll be honest with you. You are a child of God. You was created by God, and don't let that old devil tell you that that's going to define who you are. You ask God to show you who you are and what your purpose is for life, because you were greatly loved and divinely chosen by Him and created by Him to make you be the person that you need to be. And don't ever forget that, because Jesus can take you to who you need. He can take you to take that away. He can give you peace and comfort from all that trauma, and take that away. It might not happen overnight. A lot of people expects them just to click their hands and ask the Lord to do something, and it's just there. But it might not happen overnight, but the Lord does show you that He'll take care of you and give you peace. You're welcome, honey. And you're welcome. But yeah, yeah, that a lot of little kids do fall back through the cracks, and a lot of little babies are sent home on drug abuse. Babies are sent home with those parents, and then within a couple weeks or a month, the babies end up dead. And I've seen that happen a lot. I think, you know, how are you going to send someone under the influence of drugs to take care of a newborn baby who's withdrawn themselves? Yes, it is very painful, I promise you, you can get past that. You can get past that. The Lord can take that pain away. The Lord can sure take that pain away. Just ask Him to give you comfort, and He will. He absolutely will. Of course, they did, but apparently, these children were not a priority. It's not difficult to recognize drug addicts. Inadequate hygiene came, no bathroom, junkyard surrounding inside and out. Yeah, the house was not in very good condition. I absolutely agree on that one. Um, it really did look a whole mess. There was, I mean, the bedrooms downstairs was a really bad shape. Little Summer had a bad place to sleep. Oh, I have a beautiful family. Thanks, Lord. CPS needs to do better work. Yes, I agree. I think, and the laws that allow the CPS to do it, because a lot of them are bound by the law. They can't do anything like I was talking about in the state of Kentucky. A parent can be blown away out of their mind, but if they have someone there that's sober, they cannot come in and take that child out of that home as long as there's a sober parent there. So their hands are kind of tied. Some of them, and some of them are just plainly don't want to be bothered. I feel like LE should have set up roadblocks this evening. You know what? I was thinking that same thing. I wonder if they put roadblocks in and kind of block that area off so nobody couldn't get in or out of that area. Because um, I was thinking that exact same thing, because it had to be somebody close to that area, and somebody that that could get in and out of there really quickly. Someone whose cell phone possibly pinged in that area. Somebody that was local in that area, because nobody really stood out other than the red truck. So I really do. I think that they should have. I think they really should have been like putting roadblocks up and stuff, because there is a main highway, a main interstate that goes by there. So I'm not for sure how far Don and Candace lives from the interstate, but I know that there's a main interstate that goes to Kingsport, and then there's mountains there on that side, so it couldn't be too far away from the interstate, but they could have at least blocked off the back roads to keep anybody from coming in and out while they searched. And I think there should be laws that if there is a child missing, that the law should automatically be able to come on people's property and search that property, whether the person gives them permission or not. Now, I don't know how the rest of y'all might feel like about it, but I mean that's just how I feel. I think that they should. And but yeah, I think that they need to have stricter laws. I know that they have a lot of hard time placing children in foster care, and I know that they are advocating for foster care everywhere down here in East Tennessee. I know they have a children's home down here, um, and maybe that might be why they're not really quick to take the kids out of the home. But if they would have stepped in and temporarily took the children out of that home at that time that they was investigating, maybe that would have been enough for Candace and Dawn to wake up a little bit and snap out of it and maybe straighten their life up a little bit, and Summer wouldn't have got missing. Yeah, I agree with that too. Because whoever was in there, which Candace did say in her interview with Chris that the police, like Dawn got home before the police even made it there. So I wonder how long it took for the police to get there when the call. But, we don't really know the timeline of how long it had been before, that Summer was missing before Candace called the law. We really don't know the time, if that's an accurate time or not. But when they got there, they should have blocked all that off and instantly made all that a crime scene and blocked off roads and even had traffic stops on each side of the interstate to check people for missing children. I mean, that's what I would do anyway if I was law enforcement. I agree. Absolutely, Justice. It starts in the home. I agree. I really agree. I mean, either way, I I mean, and I believe everybody agrees that the people around that home, the people that was exposed to that little baby girl, I mean, and even I mean, and I don't know how you other mothers are, but I wouldn't leave a 5-year-old alone in a car with a 15-year-old boy. Not saying anything happened, but H said they was gone in the store for a long time. I know they might know H, but I wouldn't have done it. Now that's just me. Amber Alert. Yeah, I'm not for sure. I got the Amber Alerts on Summer that night. I got the Amber Alerts, but I don't know what time it was, and I can't remember if it was the next day or not. But I do know that I got the Amber Alert. I remember getting the Amber Alert, but and I tried to go back on my phone and look, but I couldn't find it. It was gone. So I'm not for sure um, about that. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to pull this up on here and see if I can see if my avatar's on here. But yeah, I mean, as soon as the law got there, they should have checked. Somebody said, and I wonder if they did, if they took like um, samples of the hands, on Candace and Grandis and even the boys. I mean, I'm not saying that the boys had anything to do with it, but all of them needed to have their clothes taken at that time that they was wearing, and I think that they should have had all that done, like an investigation for sure, a whole investigation. Wow. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Just gonna try to pull this up and see if I I got an Amber Alert that night. So you did remember getting the Amber Alert? Yes, I agree that the CPS does fail most children. I do. So many little kids fall under the cracks because that, you know, that they they don't they don't look into it. And if they would have looked into it, then maybe um, they would have known that, if they would have took the kids and temporarily put them in the home, put them in a home until Don and Candace got the house straightened up and they investigated more. I mean, they wouldn't have had to took them for long. Summer might not have ended up missing, and she, you know, they would have made Don and Candace not keep shady people around. Um, I don't know whether Don was the one keeping the shady people around, but if he was dealing with people that was the drug dealers and stuff, that's asking for it. All states too. I live in central Illinois and it's bad here too. Yeah, I think the drug problem has got so bad that I think the drug problem has got so bad that they don't know what to do with these children. I think they don't have placements. And then when they do put them in the home with people, their rules and regulations are so strict. I mean, um, I know a man down the road from me told me that he couldn't even take a boy to church with him. That the little boy said they got mad at him because he took the little boy to church. So how are you expected to try to give them a better life if you can't, you know, bring them in and show them love and caring and stuff? I'm here in, is that Rhode Island? Rhode Island? Diamond, Diamond Diana? But yeah, and I'm glad for all y'all to be in here with me tonight and talking. I'm here in Rhode Island. Okay, okay. I think that's what that is, Rhode Island. That's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, I think all states, I mean, it's just because of the drug problem. The drug problem is just getting so bad that my son was out here. Oh, okay. Rhode Island. Yes, okay. But let's see. Seems to be lack of natural affection to children by their parents. Yes, that is true. And I'm not saying anything about working parents or anything, but a lot of times the parents do kind of, some parents do get caught up in work and don't really get to spend a lot of time with their kids and stuff. And that can be too. And then, but the drug, I think the main thing, um, for sure is the drugs because it's just making these mommies, they just don't want their babies. They're so out of their mind because they're putting all, especially people that's on meth, they're putting all kinds of toxic chemicals in their brain and they're not even able to control their body parts, a lot of them. So they really can't, you know, they're not able to take care of a child. They don't want children. A lot of them don't. A lot of times they'll leave their babies at the hospital to withdraw and not come back and get them. And a family member has to come get them, or the baby has to stay at the hospital until the CPS finds a good home for the baby. A lot of babies fall through the cracks. The mommy, they don't catch the drug screen in enough time, and the baby goes home with the mother that's on drugs at that time, and then something ends up happening to the baby. So it's a sad situation. It's a very sad situation. And in this situation, in my opinion, I feel like that the drug abuse in this whole situation had a lot to do with what happened to Summer. And that's my opinion. But I really feel like that there was some involvement, just like Bullhorn Betty said today in her live, or her, I don't know if it was her live or not. Drug abuse had definitely had something to do with this baby's disappearance. And the longer that it gets, the longer that it continues to go on, the more hope we're going to lose in having, that little baby around. Let me see if I can put it back on the avatar for a few minutes, because maybe somebody might want to talk on the avatar. I thought that they would actually put the scenery behind the avatar, but that's the logo. Let's see if I can find the avatar in the background here. It's not really doing it so bad. Banners, comments. Okay, I'll look for it later on. But yeah, I definitely feel that she was failed not only by her parents but by the CPS system. Sadly, case, yes. And just like we was talking about that one case last night. I forget what the little baby's name was, but they had actually sent the baby home. And see, this is a big mistake too that I find a lot, and why a lot of children get hurt and harmed, is that they will send that baby home with a parent or a grandparent of that mother, or the father, either one, and they're not supposed to have that parent anywhere around, and they end up letting the parent come in and live with the child, and or take the little child down the road, and while they're under the influence, and the child ends up getting hurt or even killed. And in that little baby situation, they let the father go home with the baby, and I forget what else she had done at that hospital, but she wasn't allowed to be around the baby, and they let the dad go home, and she wasn't supposed to be there. And the dad actually stated in court that he watched her abuse that baby. He watched her like hit that little baby in the head and everything. And then they let the little baby go home with him, and he let that happen, and he left the baby home alone with her, and the baby ended up dead. And then they ended up taking the baby and hiding out and throwing the little baby down the well. It was really sad. It was a sad story, actually. Um, I don't feel like we will ever find summer. Society will have to make whatever did this pay. Karma will follow them. Absolutely. Whoever hurt this baby, they will pay. They might not pay on earth, but they will pay. You know, they will pay eventually. And I pray that it comes out. I hope that somebody cracks on this story, and I pray that it does come out, and that Summer, that at least she's found so she can be laid to rest. So yeah, I really do. I think she really needs to be laid to rest. Let me see if I can put this back on me so you can at least see me talking. Hang on one second, okay? Well, I don't know if that works or not. Let me see. Brands. That is podcast. I was going to try to put it back on me, the avatar, but it's not really giving me a avatar option here. So let me see. Let's see. Okay. Um. Hmm. Let me see here. I was just going to try to put the layout here. And there. Okay. So I don't know if it's not giving me the avatar option anymore. But anyway, I'll continue talking. I don't know if I can get it back up on here or not. I just okay. But no, I don't want to have the current comments. I don't feel like I find somewhere. In my opinion, is every parent abused children needs to be spent time in here. Yes, absolutely. In my opinion, there's a special place in hell for somebody that will hurt a child. It takes an evil person to hurt a child, and for money, for game, or whatever reason why that they wanted to hurt that child. Um, in my opinion, you know, they should get more than just jail time for hurting a child. Because even if Summer was found, and just kind of like with that little Carly Trent that was down the road in 2016, let's see what she put here. I honestly feel like Summer was abducted by someone she knew and cannot pro Candace and Don. And I'm not pro Candace and Don, just how I felt since the beginning. Um, yeah, I have my suspicions about a neighbor there, and I think we all know who the neighbor is. She's just said too much on social media. She's just said way too much, and my suspicions are high. It had to be somebody there really, really close. Now, I don't know. I was told that she didn't let them search her property. So, and if that's true, if she didn't let them search her property, then then something was obviously up. Why wouldn't you let them search your property? I mean, I don't understand that at all. Why you wouldn't let them search your property? I just that's just something I don't understand. Um, so I do have my suspicions about that. Absolutely, I do. I have my suspicions about it. Um, so yeah, I mean, I kind of felt like that from the beginning too. That and when I've seen her interviews and I've seen her talking on lives on social medias, that really it put a in the back of my head. Whoever took that baby was very, very close to that property and to that house. That's what I feel. They knew that property, they knew that area, and they knew where to hide a baby quickly. Let's see. Take, for instance, OJ and Casey Anthony. They haven't had a moment of rest and are being punished by society. The same thing will happen to the ones who did this. Yeah, I heard that OJ, and this is what I heard, I don't know if it's true, that he tried to go into a restaurant here or in Louisville, Kentucky, and they made him leave because of him being supposedly, allegedly guilty. That's just what I heard. So I don't know, but let's see if this is gonna do. I hope I don't go into two different streams on here because I'm trying to enter in the studio on here. But yeah, so it's not doing it. Or no, that's it. Okay. So let me see here. Um, I'm gonna try to get my face back up in here because I would like to talk to you all and get the little cow up in here. I'm not for sure how to do that. Hang on. Oh, I know I'm probably. Let me click off of that. Oh shoot! How am I gonna turn that on? I might have to enter out of here because it's backlashing on y'all here. I hit mute. Okay. Can you all still hear that noise? Let's see. Take for instance. Okay. Good. Let me see if I can get my name up here. Let's see. Go back to the full screen. I don't know what I've done. I've done something. Let me go out of here real quick because this is gonna keep on doing it unless I go out. Okay, can y'all hear me now? But yeah, I really do feel. I know it echo, so I had to just come up off of it. But I really do feel that 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 it was either the parents that was close, or if it, or there we go. I got it back now. That's better. But but yeah, I feel like it was either the parents that was close to Summer or the neighbor that's really close to them. I think those are the ones that. Can you all still hear the echo, or is it gone away? Is the echo gone? I'm not going to pull it back up on the computer because I think that's what's doing it. But um, I pray that the TBI has significant amount of proof. Um, I pray that they know who took the baby. You know, I can't come out and say for sure 100% that I know Donna Candace did it, but I can come out and say 100% for sure that they were responsible because of the irresponsibility that went on and the people that that baby was exposed to. And you all let me know how you feel. And if anybody wants to come up on panel with me, I can put my link out there. I'll put my link out there and you can just click on that and come up on the panel if you want to. Let me post that on there. And we can talk about it um, up on the panel if you want to voice your opinion about it and talk. I'm happy to let y'all come up on the panel. And there we go. But there's my link if anybody wants to come up here and talk. Let's see. My theory was Summer overdosed in the basement. Andy was the dealer. He helped cover up because the dealer can be charged with second degree murder or the neighbor's son did something. You know, that could have very well been very well been the case because in the back of my mind, and this is just allegedly, and this is just people are innocent until proven guilty. This is just my opinion. I do think that if they was involved, that they could have very well covered it up because of it. And you know, like I was talking about last night, if Grandis, um, if you know, because they said that Allie's mom got on somebody's Patreon and said that Grandis told her that Summer was not well and she never got out of the truck, and that Candace called Dawn and she went to sleep, and when she woke up, Candace didn't have Summer anymore. Which, if that did happen, I don't believe for a minute that Grandis went to sleep. And that right there kind of makes me question. But it just don't set up right with the theory because Dom would have had to come home and then go back to work. But it does make you think if Summer, didn't wake up when she was asleep, what was going on with her? Why would they want to not call the police, the rescue squad, and have her sent to the hospital? Why would they want to hide that? I'm just saying that's my theory. And so if it did have anything to do with, substances, then absolutely they could be responsible for that because, they know that they're not going to not tell them who gave them the narcotics. So, and a lot of parents will give their children Benadryl and stuff like that to make them go to sleep so they don't have to deal with them. I'm not saying that was the case, but I have seen parents do that, and the CPS comes in and does a hair sample on the kids and busts the parents for it. But a lot of kids they do that. That a lot of kids that happened, and I think that kind of was allegedly what happened in the Casey Anthony case. I think she was given her chloroform. I mean, that's just my opinion. She was proven innocent in the case, but she was giving them chloroform and allegedly giving her chloroform, and that's what was making her go to sleep allegedly. And I think that's what happened to um, the little girl, Casey Anthony's case, is that she gave her too much and she passed away. And so if and I don't understand why the parents, if they don't want to take care of the kids and they can't handle the kids, why not give them to somebody that can? Why do you want to continuously keep this child and let them go on this ride and this rodeo with you and experience all this bad stuff? That's selfishness. Do what's right for the kids. Let the child be placed up for adoption, or let a family member that you trust take that child. Don't take that child for that ride with you. I do not believe for a minute that Grandis Candy told Allie that. I trust maybe 15% of what Allie says. Yeah, I agree too. I don't really believe that either, because the story just don't add up either. And there was a lot of animosity or whatever that is between Allie and Candace over Jose. So I was kind of trying to listen to Jose's dad's on J for Justice, what he was saying, and he was saying some really crazy stuff. I didn't get a chance to listen to all of it, but what I understood in some of it is that Candace and somebody else could have very well been like a thing. He mentioned somebody else, and I hate to, let's see, because that's just hearsay uh, on my part. Let's see. My neighbors all knew shady things on each other. My opinion. So yes, they would cover up. Something was going on with them in Knoxville. Theft, drug, and some kind of ring, in my opinion. Knoxville from there is only about 45. No, I take that. Knoxville's probably about an hour from where Candace and Don lives. So it's not that far to go to Knoxville. And you've seen they went to Pigeon Forge all the time because of the pictures. And Pigeon Forge is probably about 15 to 20 minutes away from Knoxville. So, so yeah, that could have very well been, you know. Um, but in my opinion, I think if the CPS would have stepped up, went in there, talked to those children, took them each to the side, you know, placed them in a temporary home until things, they got straightened up, evaluated the children, for a while, put them with people that would take good care of them until Candace and Don got things straightened out, then, and, the thought just come to my mind. The reason why Don was staying up at his work and hiding out from the CPS is because Don wasn't supposed to be in that house because of the domestic violence. That just popped in my head. He wasn't supposed to be staying at that house because of the domestic violence charges that was against him. And that's why he was staying up there at his work instead of staying at home. What do you all think about that? That just popped in my mind. That, just like that. Hang on one second, let me read. But if CPS is being avoided, then they should be coming back after hours with the police escorts. Yes, they have failed all four of those kids. Yeah, I agree. Because now that you think about it, what Dudley said fits with the whole CPS scenario, because if there is abuse around the children and Don and Candace is fighting around those children, but if Don and Candace is fighting around them children and the police has been called, whether the charges has been dropped or not, the CPS is still going to step in and say, Don's not allowed to be in the house around you and the children if he's had those charges come up against him. Let's see. Why has CPS not sent the parents to rehab in order to get the kids back? And farm girl, you are right about Don staying in that house. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you. Because it just popped in my mind. That's why. So Dudley was telling the truth about that. Because Don wasn't supposed to be staying in that house at night because of the domestic violence dispute. So he was staying at work in case they did pop in. And I absolutely agree. Why didn't they pop in at night with the police? That is why he was set up with microwave at a house he was working at, and it was probably probably was like a little shed or a little room that he had set up that he was staying all night there because he was afraid the CPS was going to pop in and say, "Why is Don staying here? You know, you was told not to have him here because of the domestic violence dispute, and you all fighting in front of them kids because they don't play. If they're lucky that they didn't come in and take them the first time that they had this domestic violence dispute with the children, which they probably should have. And I don't know what all else was called on them, but just with that call to the police alone, 911 call, you know, social services had to be notified. So that might have been why the case was open. Don should have been sent to anger management. Yeah. A lot of times they will court order, the CPS will court order, or the courts will order the parents to get rehab and get a job and take anger management and stuff like that before they can get the kids back. And I think that should have been what happened in this situation. And little Summer might be alive and happy right now, or and in a happy place. And I mean, I'm not saying she's not alive, but you know, it wouldn't have been the scenario that it is right now. Turn it down some, will you? But yeah, but are y'all here? Okay, let's see. Don't sure. Okay, but yeah, that all makes sense. So uh, that absolutely, yeah, that absolutely makes sense now. And Dudley was not lying about that because, of course, that they're not going to have um, a domestic or a father staying there if there's been a domestic dispute. So yeah, but they should have been back. They should have investigated more. They should have talked to the children, asked the children, examined the children for bruises and stuff like that. If Allie and them was telling the truth. But who knows? Them kids was rowdy. They was rowdy youngins. They was all over the place going. So I don't know. I don't know. But we all seen for ourselves that how Don and Candace can get when they drink. They get pretty rowdy. Yeah, I do think that they was dropped, but even if they're dropped and there's still been a dispute in the household, I think the CPS still has to follow up on it either way because there was a dispute. I might be wrong about that, but I'm thinking that they still have um, to follow up on it because the kids were there during that dispute. Because you could clearly in the 911 call hear Summer and the rest of them in the background, the kids. So even though the charges was dropped, the CPS might have still required for him not to be staying at the house. But I could be wrong about that. You might be right on that. When when reporting kids abuse, call the police at the time so they can come and report. And the police can call CPS. It takes CPS to respond, like with that hot road. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read very well. Let's see. Respond like that hot road. Yeah, oh, the hot road. Yeah, I don't know why the CPS did not check up on that because that was ridiculous. That was a physical abuse, and that should have been took even more seriously than that was a I They failed the good community, in my opinion. Yes, I agree. I really do agree. I might be wrong on that though, Kayla. But that's just what I was thinking. Just me having where I've dealt with foster care before, um, with having foster kids in my past. That's just what I was thinking. Um, let's see. The police has to report the CPS even if charges has dropped because the kids in the house. The police has to report to CPS even. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that too. I'm going to try to pull this back up here and try to go out and put this back up on my computer and try to go out of my phone because my sister just texted me and said that it's coming up something. I don't know. I don't know if it's, let's see. Summer Wells Live, Enter Studio. And, but yeah, I thought that might have been the case because I've been through it so much with the others that um, before. So let me see. I'm going to try to enter into the studio so I can go out onto my phone for just a second. Um, so I hope I don't lose you all. I'm going to go out on my phone, okay? Okay, guys, that didn't work. Sorry about that. Can you hear me? It's echo. So I'm going to have to click out. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. um, but yeah, um, so that is why Don was staying up at his work. Is because he didn't want CPS to know that he was living at that house with the kids because of the domestic violence. So, we found something else new out. Can you still hear it, or is it gone now? Because I turned off my computer, and I think it was coming from the computer. Sorry about that. But what is y'all's thoughts on that? If anybody wants to come up on the panel, I'll put my links back down. Oh, okay, good. I'm gonna put my links in the chat, and you can click on it. And if you want to come up and talk about this, I'll be happy to let you up on the panel, and talk to me about this. Let's see the chat. There we go. And you can just click on that link if anybody wants to come up and just chat. I know a lot of people. I think probably Ziggy's got hers going, and I know Prayer Garden's got hers going. So a lot of people that likes to chat up on the thing, they like to. They may be over there on their channel. I'm not for sure, but yeah. What do you all think about this? How do you feel? I know a lot of you have told me already that you think that the CPS has failed them, and and it may, like I said, be the laws as well. Um, so I don't know how many times they went up there. And that's just my opinion. I don't know exactly what all they have done. They may have actually went up there and done more than what we know. Um, you know, that's just allegedly. I don't know exactly what all the CPS have went up and done and how they was taking care of it. But thank goodness that the boys are in a safe place right now and they're not being exposed to all the stuff that we've all seen on the internet. We've seen the when they drink and stuff. And I pray if they didn't have anything to do with Summer and they was to find Summer and find out someone else done it, that they do get help. I'm not against them getting help at all. I'm not against a hurting Dawn and Candace. If they didn't do this and someone else randomly just took this child, I don't think that Summer needs to be returned to them automatically. I think Summer needs to be placed into a foster home as well until Dawn and Candace can get help that they need and monitor and need. And I mean intensive help. I'm not talking about a few months. I'm talking about a good year or so that I would make them prove themselves before I let them children go back in their home. And and that's even if they was found innocent. How do you all feel? Do you think the same? Yeah, I seen that. And that's why I'm trying to keep from doing that tonight. I'm trying to just focus on the Summer case and not so much the other channels because there's so much drama on these other channels that it really just exhausts you because of it. And so I'm trying to keep a focus on the Summer Wells and the case and the dramas. But yeah, I agree. There's so much of it, and there is a lot of them that is getting a lot of money off this case and stuff. But Diamond said yes. Kayla says I keep the faith that Summer is found alive. Me too. If there is somebody that does have her out here, and that someone took her for her safety, and that could very well be a scenario. A lot of people might have looked and seen, the living conditions and heard bad things about it, and may have very well planned to go up there and take her out of that situation. That could very well be the scenario, and I pray that it would be, other than having a bad scenario. But I don't want to completely just come up here and just bash Candace and Dawn and say this and that, because if by any means they didn't have something to do with it, then I still think that they need to not get Summer back if she's found safe until they get off the drugs, the alcohol, and their anger issues. Let's see. I have ran across some of that are ripping into Ziggy about the bones. It made me mad and I cussed them out. Oh, yeah, that seems to be a big topic right now with all the other creators. I mean, it's kind of getting run into the ground a little bit. I think, as far as the creators just having a big fit about it, they're they're fighting amongst each other, and it's getting dramatic. It's very dramatic for sure. That is for sure. Prayers for Summer Wells has been found sooner. Me too. With God, all miracles can happen. Yes, and a lot of people say that they feel like Summer's still alive, and I don't feel like she's dead. In my opinion, in my heart, I don't. I know what the statistic says, but I don't feel like she's dead. Let's see. I say I say all the time it's about the finding Summer. Absolutely. It is. It's absolutely about finding her. I get so tired of the BS. Yeah, I think we're all kind of tired of it. Because if you scroll down, all you see is that stuff. All you see is that stuff. How is my throat's doing better? It is absolutely doing better. I'm trying to slow down with the talking and not talk so long. Um, and but it is doing better. But thanks for asking. Thanks for asking about it because it has been bothering me just talking so much in these lives. Southern Beauty says we have never heard about the teachers at school if anybody ever reported anything or social workers at school. I know they can't talk, but I was just wondering, that is something I never thought about too. Absolutely. I know Summer hadn't went to school yet, but the boys sure did go. So I wonder if there was any calls from the school about the boys. That is something that I'm curious about too. See the boys talked to the TBI a month ago. Yep, I heard they come and got them and took them to Knoxville and re-talked to them again, probably to see if their stories had changed any since they've not been around their parents, you know, a whole lot. They all Summer Wells case. They all failed Summer Wells's case. Yes, they did. Just heard Don Wells change his phone number. Well, I was wondering when Don was going to change his phone number. It's about time that he changed the phone number. If he don't want all this drama and all this stuff, then quit giving people your phone number and answering the phone. Change your phone number. He should have done that a long time ago. Let's see. We wasn't here about it. We won't hear about it because the information is not going to be public. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's not going to be. It won't be. Summer Moon Wells, such a bright ray of sunlight. Yes, she's so beautiful. She's a precious baby. Absolutely. Schools are usually the ones to report abuse. Yeah, but like you said, or whoever it was a while ago, that they're not allowed to talk about it. So that's probably why um, nobody's talked to any of people of the school because of I'm sure they may be bound to maybe like a HIPAA law. I want these protesters groups to go home and out of town. They are ruining the case. I'm sorry, but just in my opinion, yeah, a lot of people do feel like that. They really do feel like that. I think it went a little too far, and I think that they're realizing now that it did go that far. Um, but I did watch Bullhorn Betty today, I have to say, and some of the things that she did say made a little sense to me. I thought she would be going off about some crazy stuff, and I was just curious because I'd never watched her, but some things she did say made sense. But I do think they went a little too far this time when they came in. Can you be on stage? Absolutely. Let me. Oh wait. Okay. Can I see your face? Are you? Can I see your face? I need to see your face for you to come up. Okay. Just to make sure, because I got fooled the other day. Are you able to show your face? See, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. That person wants to come up, but they don't want to show their face, and it's not nobody that's. Hang on. Here we go again. Hello, are you here? Okay, so let me go out of here. Let's see. Don keeps talking to everyone on YouTube except the ones he needs to. That's true. That's true. Well, if he's changed his number, maybe he's changed his mind about the whole going on YouTube. Hopefully. He sure don't need to be going on there drunk. That's for sure. I agree about that group that won't act right. So disrespectful. Yeah, I agree too. And everybody has opinions. A lot of people do like them, and I respect that and stuff. And I supported the first time that they went, but I do think that it went too far the second time, and I hope that they don't go back. And I feel like that they could do more better, especially Bullhorn Betty. I mean, I really thought today that she did have some good points, to her, and I think that they would probably do better not going back to Tennessee because, in my opinion, they'll probably end up in jail if they come back, especially if I mean and it's really not a safe thing to do because you got people on the edge right now. Don's lost his job, he's lost his kids, they've lost everything. It wouldn't take much for somebody to snap, and it could turn out to be not very, very safe. Very safe. I don't know about that. Why would you say something like that? That she was tortured and that you saw her? I don't understand that. Nobody knows where she's at right now. So I don't know about stuff like that. But I don't know. Let's see. The only thing it does for views and don't care about the little girl or who they destroy. In the meanwhile, they think they are FBI. They're rude, and I'm sorry, but needs to stay off of our town. Yes, I agree. I agree. Agree. Yes, gone. Yeah, I don't think they need to come back there. Absolutely not. And are you from you? I think you're from Johnson City, ain't you? Or Kingsport, Miss Helton. Um, but yeah, that was a whole mess in itself. That took YouTube to a whole different level, in my opinion. Southern Beauty. The TBI on Twitter today responded to someone question that Summer was not seen walking on the road was false information. Oh, the information that they said that they seen Summer walking on the side of the road is false. Hmm. I didn't know that. That's interesting. So they did confirm that. Well, I'm glad they're confirming something. They need to let us know something because we're all out here just in the wind, just wondering what's next. There's only so many times Jody Sue can be interviewed. There's only many times Candace and Don can be interviewed, and everybody else, Allie, you know, until they start making stuff up, which I think a lot of them do, just to be able to get money or whatever else for views or to be able to be on somebody's platform. I mean, if Jody Sue knows so much, then why isn't the TBI the one to know? I mean, she's just said a lot of things, in my opinion, that is very, very questionable, in my opinion. I don't understand when Candace took Summer for her physical and shots for school. Wouldn't that doctor have a report if they seen or found any signs of abuse? Well, some doctors check and some doctors don't. I don't know if it would probably be dependent on her doctor, and with her being a 5 years old, I don't know if they would do a complete exam on her to see if there was any like SAN going on or anything like that. I don't know. I know there is some doctors that do check for stuff like that, but I don't know if a regular checkup would involve that unless there was question about that. Because I would think that they'd be afraid to traumatize the child if, I don't know. I don't know. But surely they would have seen other signs if there was. Um, in my opinion, I don't believe that Summer was being physically abused. I think that Summer seen a lot of partying going on, and I think that it was more like an emotional, maybe verbal, um, and just neglect about protection about who's around that child. I mean, because obviously Candace let this strange man come up to her house and stay, and they drunk and stuff around these children. I mean, why would you even bring a strange man in your house if you have a little, not only a girl, but even boys? Because little boys can fall victims as well as girls. So to me, that was very irresponsible and to do that, to let that man come up there and stay and hang out with Allie and everybody. Like I said, I'm the type of mom that would have never left her alone in the back of the truck with a 15-year-old while I went in the store that I didn't know very well. I mean, she knowed him, but how well do you really know a 15-year-old boy? You know, that's just my opinion, though. Other people might be different than me on that one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that the exam would be very traumatic for a child, and that the only way that they would go and do an exam on a child like that is if there was suspicion of SA of any kind. Otherwise, I don't think that they would do an exam on her like that unless, you know, it was a question. And at that time, nobody was aware of the whole Mary situation and all that in that town. So it's just another child that fell through the crack. I honestly only seen pictures of dirt on her, no bruises or etc. Yeah, I didn't really see any bruises and anything on her. So in my opinion, and I may be wrong, I don't think that she was being abused. I don't think that she was being physically abused or anything like that. And actually, I do think deep down that Candace loved her. But do I think that they was irresponsible around her? Yes, absolutely. Do I think if they did have something to do with it that it was an accident? I think it was an accident. If they did have something to do with her disappearing. Hang on just a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. But you tell me what you all think. I've talked a whole lot. I'm curious to know what you all have to say. And like I said, if anybody wants to come up, um, just let me know, and I'll click a link down below, and you can come up, and we'll talk. Um, but a lot of you already have voiced your opinion about a lot of things, and about this case. And I'm actually going to post another video on my page about Jelani Day and the updates on the little guy that about the same time Gabby Patino got missing. He was actually a student, a doctor student that was going to school to be a medical doctor. He went to class that morning. They caught him on camera, dressed up into his dress clothes. They caught him leaving. Then he came back in his basketball clothes. They caught him leaving on that, and that was the last time he was seen. And like 2 weeks later, after he went missing, they found him in the river, and they don't want to rule it as a homicide. And because they said there's no proof of a homicide because of his body being so decomposed. But his first autopsy, they took his organs out and never returned them. That I don't understand. So when his mother went to have a second autopsy done, there was no organs there. So she's fighting right now to get them to rule it as a homicide because she knows that her son just didn't randomly disappear that day and end up in the river dead. She knows, a mama knows. A mama knows. This boy had a bright future ahead of him. And I think we all know that there was foul play there. Evidence or not, I mean, he had a full future ahead of him. So I'm going to do a little story about that on my thing and post it when I can. There is a channel that has loads of pictures of summer on it. Oh, really? I wonder, is it the official? Is it the Don Wells channel, or is it a certain channel off to itself? Because a lot of people's involved in this case, and I think it even got more popular when that it went before Dr. Phil on the Dr. Phil show. I think it went more popular on there. So, um, so yeah. Um, but it's kind of creepy though if somebody has all those pictures on her page like that and they're not related to her. I mean, I can understand if they're a creator and stuff, but just to randomly have a little girl's picture like that, I don't know. That's kind of creepy to me. Do y'all feel that way, that there's some creepy people involved in this case? I feel like there's a lot of creepy people involved in this case. A lot of people that's criminals with a criminal history that wants to involve themselves in this little missing child's case, and it's really sketchy. And I really don't think that they belong anywhere near this case. Oh no, just someone that has pictures of A.F. Pennington. Oh, okay, okay. There's so many YouTube creators out here that's covering the Summer Wells case. There's a lot of them that is Summer Wells covering the case of her. And there's so much information that you can get, and then it's up to the TBI and to the parents or whoever else, for someone to come forward and admit that it just takes for one person to crack. One person that knows more than what they're saying. It is creepy. All these channels that all look drug addicts. They are trying to shut down the good channels, even yours. Oh well, thank you. Yeah, there is some that does look pretty sketchy. Yep, absolutely. You can tell sometimes when people are on substances, it don't take long to be able to tell. I know I can tell pretty quickly where I've dealt with people that's been on them before. Um, and I'm sure Miss Southern Beauty has too, because she's been a nurse for 40 years. So she's seen her fair share. And I'm not talking bad about anybody that's had previous addiction problems. I'm just talking about people that's got sketchy past, that's involving themselves in this case, that's earning money off this little girl that doesn't need to be a part of this investigation or even be in this at all. But some aren't Team Summer. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Because if you was Team Summer, okay, and you was getting money off of people, there would be more billboards in Kingsport, Tennessee. There would be more billboards on the highway to Kingsport. Knoxville would have some. One of the biggest uh, vacation attractions on this east side, besides Disney, is Dollywood and Pigeon Forge, and not one billboard is in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, or Gatlinburg. I've not seen one, and I've been there quite a few times this year since it's happened. Let's see here. Um, Manimal has been on YouTube for years. All we do is talk about cases. Yeah, I'll have to go check him out or her. I've not heard of them before, but I'll definitely have to go check them out. I try to check out as much as I can today without wearing my mind out about it. I try to keep my mind fresh. I'm not either. Drug abuse is a disease, but these people are wanting to make money. I totally agree. I totally agree. And and let's talk about a puppy. Yeah, I noticed that a lot of people are talking about that. Yeah, let's focus on Summer Wells and what we think, is going to happen, and what we could do, or what we can keep her name out there to keep this from going to be a cold case. Keep the pressure on the TBI, keep the pressure on the law enforcement, and keep Summer's name out there to keep this from being a cold case. True. He's on a lot of the other night. Came on at 2 o'clock. Oh, okay. I'll have to go check him out. That puppy is another distraction. I've never even heard about I've just kind of skimmed over that, but I really haven't never heard about the whole story behind that. But I heard a lot of them talking on the channel about that. She said, I agree. Oh, but yeah, I mean, I can understand if people want to put billboards out there or come in and put pressure on the law enforcement to keep this case open and keep this case from going cold. But to just cause so much drama and so much stuff. Ziggy got a puppy from Candace. Now she wants the puppy back. Candace wants the puppy back? Totally ridiculous. Oh, okay. Or does Ziggy want to give the puppy back? I heard them talking about contracts and everything, like that they had made her sign a contract. I heard bits and pieces of that. That's a whole mess in itself. I think I'd go somewhere else and get me a puppy. But uh, but yeah, there's just a lot of drama in in some of the other channels that really does take that focus off the actual crime that's taking place. And there definitely has been a crime that has taken place. Candace wants the puppy back. Oh, okay. Okay. Is she going to give the puppy back to Candace? I was just wondering. I don't want to start the subject up of it, but I was just wondering if she was going to give it back to her. But I would if she wanted it back. I'd give it back to her. Um, because there's so many little puppies out here that needs a home. So many animals. You can go to the Humane Society about anywhere and get a puppy off somebody. So I would just give it back to her. Um, but um, Candace does not need any more dogs. Absolutely. I don't know how many dogs they had. They said they had a lot of dogs up there on the hill. I guess she just kind of takes them in and stuff. So maybe no, they don't. They need to have them neutered. But I heard that they was getting them neutered. I heard that they was helping them get the dogs neutered. So that would be a good thing if they could. No, they care a lot about a dog, but not a child. Yeah, that kind of seems to be a little bit. I don't know if that's her way of coping. Um, is focusing on the dogs because her kids are gone and everything else. I don't know, but that's a whole lot of drama. Why would you give your dog away and then want it back? That don't make sense. That don't make a bit of sense. These poor animals get treated like dirt too. Yes, I've seen animals be treated pretty bad when I was younger. And thankfully the laws is cracking down on that because as you all know, I'm a very animal lover. My animals, even even down to my critters, are part of my family, and I love them and I want them to be happy. It just pleases my heart to go outside and see my little hens out there digging in the dirt and singing because they get to free range and they're happy. And I want them to be happy. And I know that sounds weird, but I love my chickens. I love my hens when they get out there and they sing and they dig in the dirt and they lay eggs. And I just love it. It makes me so happy. They don't have any of their children, they shouldn't be allowed to have animals. That's true. That's true. They need to be keeping a close eye on the animals too to make sure that they're being took care of. They took some they didn't really want, but they didn't go back and get them. Oh, okay. So they took them to get neutered or to the shelter. Me too, amen. But I saw no flyers about Summer being missing on the Wells vehicle. Well, you know what? That is a good point. Why isn't there like stickers or flyers about summer missing on there? That I don't understand that, guys. I want to give these people the benefit of the doubt, but if it was my child, I would definitely would be out there putting up flyers, putting up stickers, be searching. I would be on the TBI's tail every 5 minutes. They would get so annoyed with me. They would they wouldn't know what to deal how to deal with me if my child was missing. I'm just saying, not everybody might not be like me, but I mean, look at Jelani Day's mom. She's fighting so hard right now. And she already knows her child is dead, but she knows that someone killed him. And she's fighting so hard to keep his name out there so they can get justice for him. Yes, shelter, because they don't want her found. That could be a good point. And that's what it kind of looks like, that they already know where she's at, and why try to get out here and fight when they know what happened and what. I mean, that's in the back of my head. I mean, I can't. I do want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but that right there, you know. Let's see. I feel like they really love those children. They just made some bad choices. Candace totally reminds me of my mom as far as showing emotion. Yeah, a lot of people, they don't know how to show emotion. Like they have like a flat affect. So that could very well be, you know. And if you go back and look at a lot of my videos, at first I was 100% for Candace, but now I'm just back and forth. I am so back and forth on it. And I pray that they're not involved. But then you look at like they're not got stickers, and maybe they might not know to put stickers on their car. Maybe they might not know to do this. Maybe they're just really simple, you know, and not know to do that. I've heard on other channels that they are getting mad at people looking for summer. Well, that would definitely, I would not understand that. Now I can see these YouTubers getting on here making tons of money off of summer, but as far as someone out looking for summer, I wouldn't see why they would do that. The Wells are driving over here. Her picture in the road. I couldn't stand running my tires over my child's picture. That's true. I seen that. I seen that. Like I said, a lot of people are different in the way they handle things, and I'm a whole different ball game. And maybe, you know, I want to keep an open mind. I do. I really do. They are heartless, no compassion. Could very well be. You know, a lot of people feel that way. Absolutely. They do feel like that. YouTube is getting ridiculous with Summer Case, and everyone needs to know it's a child missing. Justice for Summer Wells. Absolutely. Amen to that. It's a child missing. A beautiful little baby girl that could be possibly out here in the hands of an animal, or could I, you know, I know that if she's not with us anymore, that she's in the protection of the Lord. I know that if she's no longer on this earth, that she's not hurting. But someone did have to hurt her. And this little baby child had to go through something horrendous before she left this earth. Something terrifying. And there's somebody out there that's responsible for this. And a lot of YouTubers don't know that whoever took Summer is a dangerous person. And when you are going to that area, you are going around somewhere or someone that possibly killed a child or abducted a child. So you are not only putting yourself at risk, but you're putting whoever you're bringing this into at risk, because this is real life. This isn't YouTube life. This is a real missing child. Yes, it's about finding her and not getting rich. I agree. When my dad and my brother passed, I never seen her cry. She only does things like that in private. Yep, a lot of people are very, very private like that. They are. And I don't know why, but there is a lot of people that is private like that. I agree. I am ready to start to think that someone took her that knew she was being abused. That could very well have been the case as well. That's been in the back of my mind too. You know that someone took her, and like I was talking about last night, that you know allegedly somebody had come on another person's YouTube, a young guy, and I overheard it, but I never could find it anymore. And he had said that he knew that Grandis hired a man and a woman to come up there on that hill. The man parked at the bottom of the hill. The woman went up there and got Summer, while Grandis kept Candace distracted and took Summer away from there to keep her safe, and that Grandis knew where Summer was. I overheard him say it, but I've not been able to find that YouTube channel since then. And that was always in the back of my mind. And that could be a scenario there. You know, that might be why Grandis took off. I don't know. Drugs and alcohol have affected all the dynamics in this household. Absolutely, absolutely. And when I say that I think that Dawn and Candace failed her, I absolutely do think they failed her, and I think the CPS as well failed her, and the laws failed her. I am I am a very emotional person. That's good to know. I am too. I'm very emotional. Let's see here. Those protesters didn't know what to do after Gabby Patino and Brian Laundrie's case um, was over, so they think they are police. They need to leave my town. Absolutely. I have a feeling that if they go back, that they probably will be arrested if they do, especially Molly Golightly. But yeah, if you don't have a degree in law enforcement or anything like that, and even a person that does have a degree in it, I mean, unless you're employed by law enforcement, the things that they did, I don't know. I don't know. The sheriff never said the community was in danger. I find that so strange. I think they know what happened, just waiting for a syringe case so they can get the maximum sentence. Could very well be. They're waiting on something. They're waiting on something. They're waiting for enough evidence to to bring somebody down. I totally agree. Strong. Not syringe. Strange. Strange. Okay. Someone needs to make them leave if the people in the town do not like it. Get together and make them leave. They could very well do that. Strong. Okay. That's what she meant. Strong. Um, I will cry at a drop of the hat. I have always been like that. Me too. I'm not so much now as I used to be, but occasionally I'll get like that. They are making it worse. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but they are not helping. No, I don't believe it either. I don't believe they're helping. TBI is building a case on DW and Candace Wells. It's kind of looking like that, guys. It's kind of looking that way, just by the things that they say. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be someone totally different, but to me, that's what their focus is. Yes, but they are rude. Yeah. I heard they got kicked out of the bed and breakfast they was in or whatever. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. They made them leave. I don't know if it's true. You hear all kinds of stuff. That is the main reason I stopped listening to them. Yeah, me too. I mean, I was for them to go and put a little pressure to keep the case open, but I think things just went way too far, way too far. You are a good person. God sees our tears. He absolutely does. He does. He absolutely does. They are getting everything they need to bust them. Yeah, that's what I totally agree. And if anybody watches any crime stories or ID, and I know a lot of people watch ID because I like it and a lot of people does too. But if you watch ID, they try their best to get, because if they don't get all the evidence once they indict them, um, and they're proven not guilty, then they can never be tried for that again. So I think they don't want another Casey Anthony OJ Simpson scenario. I drove up to Ben Hill Road 3 times on Saturday trying to confront the crews on wheels. What was you going to say to them? Wow. And you know what? They might have been more people that did confront them. They just didn't show us. There might have been a lot of people in the community that did confront them. I never watched those. I never even clicked on their video, so I'm not for sure what all they had done. I just heard bits and pieces of it. I wish God stopped the pain I am in right now. It hurts to breathe right now. Do you have chronic pain? Is that what's wrong with you? Because that can be hard. I think the TBI has people on YouTube working to find out something. They could very well have undercover agents up on YouTube. We don't know. They could very well have it. I think the TBI needs to get on Facebook and look at some people's lives on Facebook and examine some of the stuff they say. If y'all know who I'm talking about. Let's see. Don't do that and end up getting hurt, because you never know what will happen. That's true. That's true, because that could very well be a very dangerous place. I mean, we don't know what happened that night or that day to her, you know, and it could very well be a very dangerous place. I know the guy that got the little Adam Walsh, he was an animal. He was a dangerous animal. I mean, anybody that crossed paths with him, he killed. He was like a wild beast out here, just going around randomly killing people. And the way that he hurt little Adam was horrific. It was, he was a walking demon, I think. His name was Otis Toole. If y'all ever get a chance to go back and look at all the stuff that he did, it was horrendous what kind of person he was. He was a filthy animal. He was. Pain all over since yesterday because of the weather. Yeah, I hurt a lot because of the weather too. I have a lot of pain, a lot of chronic pain. So I know exactly where you're coming from. And when this weather is bad, it gets even worse. Absolutely. I understand totally. Oh my God, guys, just went on this girl's site, Olivia. Okay, so before all of her detective work, she was doing videos on speaking with aliens. Something weird. Oh my goodness. Is that the Chronicle of Olivia? Y'all, come on. There ain't no such thing of aliens. If y'all are seeing anything, that's it. You seeing stuff that's evil. If anybody sees anything like that, Ain't no such thing as an alien. Oh my goodness. You can not trust people anymore. No. And that's sad. That's so sad that the world has come to where you can't trust people. I mean, pretty much your immediate family you can trust. I mean, and it could be different. There is some good people out here. I'm not going to say there ain't, but there's a whole lot of ugly out here. A whole lot of ugly, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse. You must have looked at it. The channels that make fun of them. Crude of makes fun of them. Oh, I don't know. So they are trying to get views. So it's annoying with their Don Wells interviews, like they are cool with him. Well, he's changed his number, so maybe he won't be doing those interviews anymore. I don't know. I don't understand why he did the interviews in the first place unless he was getting paid to do them. Um, Somebody said last night on here, uh, and this might just be rumor, but somebody said that Molly Golightly offered him $5,000 for an interview. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what someone said last night on here. That could just be a rumor. And God don't like ugly. Absolutely, God don't like ugly. He don't. And that's why I try to be positive on here and not completely talk awful about people. I know it's easy to get caught up in stuff. I do want to try to give people the benefit of the doubt on on this channel. But when things are looking in a certain direction, you can't help to be skeptical about things, because there's so many things that's looking in that direction. Um, but I'll be honest with you, I really don't watch a whole lot of channels. I watch the Michelle Walks channel and I watch Prayer Garden. But other than that, I really don't watch a whole lot. I watch the Interview Room, and then there's this detective guy that I've started watching, but he's got a lot of experience. He's a retired uh, investigation homicide detective, so he knows a lot about these kind of cases, and he's pointed out a lot of good points in the case. Um, like he said that when Candace was going down to the water hole, that she said it was like everything was in slow motion, and that Chris Madonna pointed out that it was a part of post traumatic stress, and that she was going into like a post traumatic stress at that moment, but she never mentioned it at any other times, even in the basement. She didn't mention that anymore, and that he thought that was kind of, iffy, where she had that episode of post traumatic stress when she was at the water hole. And I found that interesting that he pointed that out. I try to have a good heart. Some people make it so hard. Absolutely. They do. They bring out the bird in you. I try to too. I try to stay humble. Even when that woman was yelling at me through the Zaxby's drive through for no reason, I said, geez, it's just a chicken sandwich. She needed to go to the doctor and get her some hormones because she was going crazy. And I don't understand why people act like that. I don't understand it. They need to stop and slow down and look at the world a little differently. We're only here for a little while. We're only here for a little while. All the other stuff can't go with us. But anyways, getting back to the detective, he said that he noticed that she didn't have that, and Chris Madonna evidently did too, that she didn't have that post traumatic episode, but any other place at the swimming hole, which makes you think that she's seen something there at the. Hello there, Jeez Louise. I'm glad to see her back, Jeez Louise. We're just talking away on here, trying to keep things rolling and keeping keeping discussion going about things. Good to see you're back. But he seems to think that that something happened at that water hole that to trigger that post traumatic stress that she was having at that moment. So I don't know. That really, I mean, this guy's done detective work for years, so he knows how to read people pretty good. Cracking cases and chasing is a very informational on the summer case. I'll have to go see that. Are they trained in like any kind of detective work or anything? You're welcome, Jeez Louise. I like to watch people that really does have like that kind of background because they've dealt with people and they've dealt with cases like this and they know how to read people, kind of like Chris Madonna. I feel like he's very knowledgeable about, reading people and stuff and what to look for. Like he said, that guy said that the small things, you got to look for the small things. And I agree with him. If anybody wants to come up on the chat and talk to me, I'm going to post the links here and I'll let you come up and we can chit chat if you've got anything to say. Uh, my voice is about to go out again. Let's see. I'm going to have to copy that again and see what we can invite. Copy to clipboard. Is it copied? So, copy. Let's see if we can put that out here on the chat. Yeah, just click on that link there and I'll bring you up on the panel if you want to come. Southern Music. Farm Girl, any thoughts on the box in the truck and the TVH said he moved? Could they have met shady people at the water hole and something went wrong? You are very informative. Thank you. Um, I don't know. I'm not for sure. Um, did you see a TV back there? Because I didn't think I seen one. Do you? Was there a box back there? I've really not got to examine it a whole lot, but you know, it could have very well been. I believe that Summer was alive during that photo or that video, but was she conscious? There's a difference between being alive and conscious. Like not asleep, like be under consciousness. Not being because in the back of my head, still what they said allegedly what Grandis told Allie's mom that Summer wasn't well, and that makes me think that maybe she wasn't waking up for him. So something, something very well could have happened. Swimming hole, yes, yes. Hey, let me ask you guys, and it is, if what do you think if her brothers were playing around and one of them hurt her accidentally? I think a lot of people was thinking that too. Like maybe they accidentally hurt her and Candace kind of covered it up. Like maybe they might have been fighting or something and knocked her over. Because boys are rough and tough, and she was a rough and tough girl, and she was probably wrestling with him quite a bit at home. That could have very well happened. I actually thought about that myself. I'm so curious to see what the boys had to say about that and the whole thing because eventually they're going to get the truth out of them boys. Them boys are going to talk if they've not already talked and told the truth. Thought that too. H said he moves. Two TVs in that box was beside the milk. I think she was alive. Yeah, I do too. I think she was alive, but whether or not she was unconscious or not is a different story. But I think she was very much alive. Do I think she was actively dying at that time? No, she was too pink. But she still could have been unconscious. And they could have freaked out and took her and thought she was dead and buried her and her still been alive. That could have happened. They could have panicked, thought that just because she wasn't waking up that she was dead. That thought goes through my mind a lot, that they may have thought that maybe she might have went unconscious on them and they freaked out and thought that she had died and she could have very well been alive. That thoughts went through my mind. What do you all think about it? I'm curious to think. I'm curious to find out what you all think about it, because it could have very well been, you know. And if anybody wants to come up on this panel and talk, I welcome you. Just click on that link. Agree with Summer Beauty, Southern Beauty. And Miss G's Louise thinks that she was sold. Um, it has to be one of those scenarios. It's either looking like being sold, her being hurt, or someone taking her for their own personal reasons. That's my opinion. That's what I seem to think happened to her. Does anybody else think the same thing too? Because I mean, it just there's just no way that some randomly strange person drove up in a holler that they've maybe been into once or twice, went up on that hill around all them dogs, took that baby without nobody knowing it, without Jody Sue seeing it, and took off with her just out of the blue without having no cell phone pinging or anything like that. And I honestly believe that if Summer would have wandered off, that they would have found her by now. I don't think she's wandered off. I think Summer was old enough to know better to wander off. I think at 5 years old, a kid knows better t- to wander off. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, though. Traded for drug money. Could have very well been that case. Could have very well been. And some of them interviews that JS has makes me more and more suspicious about that, you know? And I think everybody thinks that. And um, definitely an inside job. Yes, absolutely. Somebody really, really close. That's why I narrow it down to three people. That's my opinion. I think that it could be three people involved in that, and they're very close, the two neighbors and the mom. That's my opinion. It had to be one of those because they was just. I mean, Candace even said herself that when she went down at the bottom of the hill to look for Summer, that JS was standing right there at the bottom of that hill. So what was she doing? Has as the TBI took her children aside and questioned them separately? You know, have they been questioned separately? Did she have to do a lie detector test? Did her husband, since H openly admitted to, this guy being allegedly the drug dealer? That's in my opinion. Yes, absolutely. I think it was them. And in my opinion, I think it was those two. I think they had some involvement. I think they know more than what they're saying. They might not have been guilty of the actual thing, but I think they know a lot more than what they're saying. Until there is further evidence to lead to specific direction, I believe there was an abduction. And it could have very well been that way, Kayla. I mean, I've thought through that scenario a thousand times. A thousand times it could have been. But I think whoever did abduct her, if there was an abduction, they still had to know her. I think they know that place. They've been up in that place. They've been in that house. They knew them dogs. Whoever abducted her, if that was an abduction, they had to have known her, known that house, and know them dogs, and how that was set up to get in there and get out so quickly with her. Jeez Louise said the EPL released a video of BK's ex-wife and her brother telling things about him that are stomach turning. Oh, really? He is an evil man and said he is Don Wells' stepbrother. So, birds of the feather. Are you kidding me? That BK is his stepbrother? Wow. This is the first I've heard of it. Was this today that they released that? Wow. That is very interesting. Jody Sue heard the scream, says saw the red truck, walked the creek, inserted herself for weeks. She absolutely did. She absolutely did. And if there was an abduction, that would be the first on my list, in my opinion. Her and A. Abduction. Have you been down that road? She put. If an abduction, it was someone close and they knew where she was at the time. That's why I think it could have very well been. Yep, there you go, Miss Helton. I agree. I think it was her too. In my opinion, I think she had something to do with it. Even more, I'm more suspicious of her than I am CW and DW. That's what he said on a live. He didn't say it today. Oh, so BK actually said that? He was Don's step brother? No wonder he's so involved. If that's true, I mean, I'm curious to hear what was said about him. Because I heard that he was going through a divorce, but she must be coming out with the woodwork on that one. Yes, I live approximately 6 miles from there. I have been to the area at Miss Helton. Kayla, do you have any suspicions about the neighbor being the abductor? Who would you think it would be the abductor? Because I have been so back and forth on that myself, and my suspicions is one of those neighbors because they was so close. Jeez Louise, from his own mouth. Wow. I'm gonna have to go hunt that information out and find out what's being said. I mean, I don't want to come at nobody, but I've always kind of thought he was sketchy anyway. I mean, you can just read people sometimes, and it was instant. But Donna Candace did make him sign that contract too. They made him sign a contract as well because I overheard him saying it. I mean, me too. You're not the only person who lives here. Oh, so you live there too, Miss Houghton? So y'all live in that area. See, I live close to you all, but I live down towards. I live. I live about an hour away. I'm not going to put directly where I live at, but I don't live it right in Kingsport. But I go to Kingsport quite often. I go there quite often in Kingsport. Um, but I'm really curious to find out about the whole BK thing. I have suspicion, but I don't. But I keep that private, and that's understandable and that's respectful. I mean, I think we all kind of have our own suspicions about people, and I totally understand that. I do. I totally understand it and respect that as well. Um, but I don't think until somebody cracks or some new information comes out, I don't think we're going to know exactly what happened to her, and it could be totally. it could really be something that would blow our minds away, you know? It could be something totally than any of us know. It could be a person that never has been mentioned before. You know, because I've when I've posted videos, I've had people comment stuff on there, and I'm like, how in the world do you all know this? I mean, some really scary stuff on there, and um, like I think one person said that there was a person camping out in that area, and that they had went missing that day. That Summer went missing, and they drove a red truck. And when I asked them how they knew the information, they never responded back to me. So it could have very well been that, you know. So it. You just never know about the situation, and everybody does have their everybody has their own way, their suspicions and what they think, and I respect that in every way. I mean, because we really, none of us know really what happened, and Lord forgive me if I've misjudged someone, or and they're not guilty, but in my opinion, I'm leaning towards the three, and the number two, the one and two is the neighbors for me. That's me, but you never know, and I hope and pray that the TBI comes out pretty soon, or someone cracks and spills the beans when that money gets high enough, and if they think they can get away with cracking the beans without getting themselves in trouble and collect that money, maybe someone will do it. Maybe someone will get greedy enough to do it. And in my opinion, I think OJS is pretty close to it. And that's just my opinion. But if anybody I think will crack, it'll be her. Because she's already let a little information out, in my opinion, herself. But I could be wrong. And Lord forgive me if I'm wrong. But I do feel like the parents has failed them. I feel like the CPS has failed her. And I just pray that if she's found, that this craziness will not continue. But in no doubt in my mind, it will. It will still continue. There'll still be rumors. There'll still be people out here getting cash apps and money off of this little child that's missing. Um, I think even if she's found, that's going to happen. What do you all think? Do you all think that too? That even if she's found, that there'll still be people out here making some dough off of her and putting out cash apps and stuff. I am really, really curious to find out what he just said about BK, because that has really blown me away. That, so if anybody wants to come up on the panel and talk, just let me know. I know a lot of people don't like to get up on the panel and talk, but hey, I'll welcome you, and I'll welcome your opinion. I mean, everybody's invested in this case. I don't think there's one person that's not on here that's not invested in the case of any missing child. And yeah, I believe that there'll be still more scandals to come. I think that we're just beginning with the whole scandals and drama with this case. Absolutely, Kayla. Or is it Kay? Absolutely. I believe that myself for sure, that this case is just, geez Louise. Why did the CPS leave those boys there for 6 weeks after Summer went missing when they already had them in their system? That's weird. Yeah, I agree. That's what we was talking about earlier, is how we felt like the CPS failed them, failed Summer, failed the boys. They saved the boys, luckily though, but yeah, they probably should have took them sooner, in my opinion, um, just for the safety of them, and at least until they could do more investigating and find out more about what happened, you know? That's what I feel. Well, see, that's what I was wondering. I don't think she did. I think the only one that took a polygraph was Candace, and Don. I don't think any of the neighbors had to take a polygraph, but I would love to see some of them have one done, and I would be curious to find out what the results would be. You know, because I mean, I'm not saying I could be wrong, but that's just where my suspicions are going right now. Because there's been too many things that's been said that she has said that has been very red flaggy to me, and you know, I swear I wish I could turn back time to that Amber Alert. The I would have so been up there in that area looking for her during that time. I reckon the community got together, and there was a lot of people from the community that got together looking for her, and that the TBI had to step in and ask people not to look, because I think the whole community got together and was actually looking for her. And I'm sure, you know, I mean, everybody was out looking for her. I would have loved to have been there to know exactly. I remember getting the Amber Alerts, but we get a lot of Amber Alerts in this area. Like the other night, I got the one about the little boy that went missing that they found. I've heard a lot of her stuff. I agree with you. She's pretty sketchy. Yeah, especially if you get to go back and look at the videos of her before Summer went missing, where she was cursing and swearing and using God's name in vain every breath, talking about how she would hurt someone's kids, that she don't like other people's kids, and that's the true person that you're seeing in those videos. If any of you haven't seen it, and then she allegedly got on there and said that her daughter said that her ex-husband seen uh, Summer's dead body, that he was the last one to see Summer's dead body. Why would you say something like that? That's a red flag if there ever was one. Now, I never heard her say it, but Prayer Garden played it the other day, but she took it off immediately, and I really couldn't understand it. But allegedly, she did say that. Let's see. I just looked for the video on BK, but Elk already took it down. It was pretty graphic, so probably for the best. Yeah, but I bet somebody probably grabbed that, and it'll probably be all over the internet before it's over with. Especially if certain creators gets their hands on of it, because he's got a lot of enemies. He's got a lot of creators that he fusses with. So yeah, I'm just curious to see. So many sketchy people. So many sketchy people. Yes, I do believe the cops failed her. Also, yeah, I do too. Oh, the CPS. I agree too. And yes, I agree they failed her. Yep. Other communities, people can look. They had suspicions, I think, of her parents from the start. Probably. Probably. Yep. One of them. I agree. She's pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, if she did say that, because like I said, I didn't hear it. All I heard was mumbling, and then Prayer Garden took it down. But a lot of other people said they did hear it, and that she allegedly said that. Why would you get on YouTube in a missing child's case and say such a thing if it wasn't at least a little bit true? I mean, why would she say that? That's the number one reason why I have my suspicions about her, and then the way she talked about them, and how much hate she had for the family because of the property before Summer went missing. I'm not for sure who's got those videos, but I'm going to find out who's got the videos of her before Summer went missing and let you all know to go back and watch those videos, and it will make you suspicious as well. Lost suspects. Mm-hmm. Amen. I mean, and then there was another one that Prayer Garden played, said something about Summer's body being hid or something, but I really couldn't understand that. And I don't really think the way I took it, I don't really think she was talking. I think that she was saying someone accused her of that one. That's what it sounded like to me. But she says things in riddles. So I really have a hard time understanding her. I have a really hard time with understanding her. Yeah. Yep, Kayla or Kay. She talks in riddles. She starts a sentence and then she doesn't finish the sentence. But sometimes you kind of know what she's talking about, and then sometimes you don't have a clue on what she's talking about. Because she'll start talking about it and then she'll go quiet and then she'll finish the end of the sentences. I mean, it's really weird. So I really don't know. It's really confusing. And Lord forbid if I'm wrong about her, I'm sorry. If she's really sick and she's having a hard time, then I can understand why she would take up some donations for her and her children. But do it on your own terms. Do it under your own name. Don't use a child's missing to get people to hand over money and donations. And I do believe that she probably does need a home for her and her children, because what I can see is that, she's living in a camper and she probably don't have a whole lot. And if she's sick, she's not able to get out and work. So, I mean, if I'm wrong, then I feel really bad. But some of the things she says, man, they really get me. They really get me. And that's why I had my suspicions. And then when Chris Madonna come out with that unedited videos, and we found out who was the drug dealer was, that just blown me away. That just put chills all over me. Because to me, that was kind of a piece of a missing puzzle that fit a little bit there. I don't know. What do you all think? Because I don't know. I just really don't know. It's just real bad there. Real confusing to me. And Jody Sue, she's told a lot of different stories too. Some people say that she didn't even mention the scream until like 4 days after that happened. I don't know. I don't know. I know that one of the first interviews that I seen her in, she did mention that Candace was hysterical when she come down there looking for Summer. She did mention that. You agree with me? Well, thank you. but it could really be totally just opposite. It could be someone just that we random person that we have no clue about. When people stalk little children, they do it for a long time and they have it well planned out, and they could have an eye on there, or they could have had an eye on her for a long time. They could have very well been up there. There's no doubt in my mind that they wasn't up there on that property before, or and know them dogs and knew about the basement and how to get into the basement and how to get down that hill. Whoever knew, whoever did it, 100%, I think we all can agree, knew, you know, Summer, Candace, Dawn, and the whole area. I agree with you too. Let's see here. JSB is begging for money for thyroid cancer when in fact it has one of the highest cure rates there. Um, Graves' disease is also easily managed too. She's shameless. Um, with me being a previous um, I know I've had a person that had cancer, in the past. Um, I know that the Cancer Society also gives money to people, and she's probably getting a check, probably a disability check. She's probably getting money from the Cancer Society. A lot of people donate. Hospitals give gift cards out. They give cash cards out. She's probably getting a lot of money from other places as well. I know for a fact that the Cancer Society gives checks out, and they also provide transportation for people. So, yeah, I just keep going back to why aren't the parents looking a lot harder for her? There's always in my mind, yes, absolutely. I think they really should be looking for her a lot harder. I agree. I totally agree on that one. I don't understand it myself. I really don't. After Chris M called out Jody Sue, look at all the deflections we have had this week. He said it would happen. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just some of the things that she has said, like when Andy was supposed to have went on one of those talk or lives on somebody's, she would say stuff to the effect like he was going to mess himself up, and he was going to get himself in trouble and talk too much. That's how I took it. And I'm like, why is she saying this stuff? If you go back and look, she might have deleted that, but she was talking about it in riddles, and she was upset that he was going to go on live and talk about it. So that got kind of got me too, you know. If JSB moved out, then she does not have to report Andy's income as a living in the household. She should get government assistance. Absolutely. Absolutely. She should be able to get food stamps. She should get disability benefits in her cancer. If she's got cancer, at least temporary disability, I would think. And then the Cancer Society, yeah, she should get a lot of assistance. And she can also get assisted living as well. I worked on oncology floor at the hospital. Yes, it's highly curable. Yeah, yep. I'm not real familiar myself with thyroid cancer, but I do wonder where the port is or the central line. I'm not seeing that anywhere. And usually, when you see someone that's undergoing chemo therapy, they have to have a port or a central line. And I have looked in the videos and I'm not seeing that. Now, she may be off chemo by now, but I don't know. But I have looked in her neck, I've looked in her chest to see if I could see any signs of a port cath or a, a central line, and I've not seen that. Not saying she don't have one. She could very well have a have one in her arm, an IV. Well, I don't know if you can put chemo through them. I don't think you could put chemo through. Um, um, it's not an IV. It's called my mind's. I think the only way you can put chemo through is through a port or a central line. And I've not seen that in any of the videos that I've watched. So if she's going through chemotherapy, she should have one or the other. She should very well have that. Not saying she don't, but she should be getting some kind of help or assistance. Pick line, there you go. A pick line. That's what I was saying. That's what I was trying to get to. I have not seen any poor wonder about a pick line in her arm. That's what I was wondering about too. But I don't know if you can give. Can you give chemo through a pick line? That's a question too that I wonder. I don't know if you could give it through there. I think they either have to have a port or a central line to be able to get it. But now I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that one. I never did work in chemo, so I'm not 100% sure. She also said she had a radical neck dissection for it, and there were no scars. She's fibbing, and I've seen people that's had them, and yeah, they're scarring unless the doctor was extremely, extremely good. Yes. Um, I thought I did see a scar on her neck one time though. I really did think I thought I seen a scar, but I'm not for sure. But there would have to be something there that you cannot have. I mean, even with the best surgeons, it's very hard to cover up a scar in that depth. If especially if they had to go in and take her thyroid out, there had to be some kind of scar there. But I really do think I saw one on her neck, though. I could be wrong though. But she'll get in trouble if she's going out and get money and saying that she's sick and she's if she's not. I'm not saying she's not that way, but I'm just saying if that was the scenario, she could get in a lot of trouble for that. No suture lines either. Yeah, I wonder how long ago it was that she had the thyroid surgery. Because she looks pretty healthy to me, especially these last few months. She looks pretty good to me. I mean, she's a pretty woman. I think she's a very pretty woman. Um, I think if she got rid of the whole meanness and stuff, that she could be a very pretty woman. Oh, we can. Okay, good. Okay. I wasn't for sure about that. Thank you, Kate, for letting me know that. I wasn't 100% sure if it could, but it must be able to, so that's a good thing. And I mean, I understand if she just comes out and says, "Look, I need help. I've been down and out." But to use Summer and to go on to these lives and say stuff and the things that she's doing and the things that she said in the past, all of it's just so sketchy to me and makes me think that there was more involvement there with Summer than what we know with her. It just makes me think that, and I could be very wrong. Um, but if I had to definitely will it down um to three people, those would be my top three right there. And I would probably lay a lot of money on it if someone asked me that it had to be one of those three. I don't know. You all tell me what you think. I've yacked here and yacked, so I'm curious to think what you all's opinions is, because hey, I'm all for what you all think and your opinions. And a lot of people has studied up on her a lot more than I have. So there was one woman on Prayer Garden the other day, honey. She had her whole journal. She was all about it. She knew everything coming and going. She was right into it. I was like, this woman's an investigator. She needs to go join law enforcement. She is an investigator for sure. But you know, there's just so many, out there that little kids that get missing. It's like that little boy the other day. I got his Amber Alert when I was on a live. It's like, here we go, another Amber Alert. And luckily, I thought he wasn't going to make it. I thought, oh, because they said the dog had come back without him and the dog was wet. And I was like, oh, this little boy's, something's happened to him. He's fell in the lake or he's fell in the pond or something. But they found him. They found him. And I was so glad that they found him because, unfortunately for little Summer, that's not been the case, and that's not been the scenario. And I think if she'd have been out there in that woods anywhere, we would have found her by now. Especially when they did the especially when they did the second search. And as any of you all know that lives in this area, they drain the lakes here, so the lakes are practically drained to barely anything. So if she would have been in the lakes I have a feeling they would have found her by now in the lakes because they drain them so low here. So I don't believe she would be in any kind of water. I don't know if they drain the Warriors Park though. Do they drain the Warriors? That was the Telecom Plains. Yes, yep, it was. Does any of you all know if they drain the lake at Warriors Park like they do with the Cherokee lakes and stuff? Because I was curious to find out whether they drained that lake too. Because that's where she went swimming at, was the Warriors Park lake. But I would assume that they would drain the lake. But it didn't look like it was drained in some of the videos. Yes, thank God he was found safe. I was so happy when they found that baby. I was like, oh no, not another little kid, not another little baby missing in this area. And he just went back in the woods with the dog. The dog abandoned him. He left him because usually a dog will stay right with somebody. But and when that dog came back, I was like, oh no, that dog, something's happened. That dog's he's fell into the water or something. But I'm so glad that it turned out differently for them. But let me see here. Um, let's see. Where is that background? Let's look in here to see banners. Okay, put that one there for now. But um, I was just curious to find out if the lakes had been um, in Kingsport, if they had been drained like the rest of the lakes in this area. I think Dandridge Lakes, but I think they drain it. The lakes in Tazewell, North Lakes, they drain them, I think. But now in those videos, it didn't look like the lake was drained too much. The swimming hole where Summer went missing at, it didn't look like that too much, but it could have very well been, you know. But I mean, it's just sad. It's just a sad situation that that this little baby's out here and all this craziness has been going on, and that she could have potentially been saved if they would have been into earlier, or maybe even monitored. If they would have just monitored on them and stopped all them bad people from coming up on that hill and stopped all that stuff from happening up there, all them people coming around her like that maybe that she would have had a chance to not happen if someone did kidnap her or abduct her, because there was so many fishy people around her, you know. And my sister-in-law, or my niece-in-law, she worked with one of Donna Candace's neighbors. She works in Kingsport, and she worked with one of their neighbors, and one of their neighbors told her that there was an SA that was staying up there on that mountain. Now, I don't know how true that was, but that's what she was told by the neighbor woman that she worked with, and that there was a lot of, substance and stuff. So I don't know who the SA was, unless it was the Billy guy that H was talking about that had been staying up there, or maybe they was thinking about, maybe it was Jose. I don't know. But those are the only ones I've ever heard about. I've not heard about nobody else being up there on that property at that time. But that really blows me away. I wonder if Beanie is telling the truth about him being Don's stepbrother. What do you all think? How do y'all feel about that? If anybody wants to come up on this panel, and speak, just let me know and I'll put you up on this panel. I'll put a link out here and put y'all up on the panel and we can talk for a while. I don't know where my buddy Dipsy is. She's usually up here with me talking. I think she did a live of her own tonight. So, um, but yeah, I'm glad to see everybody up here, and I'm glad, that everybody's up here speaking their opinion and that we can actually talk about Summer Wells and not about all the other stuff that's going on in this case. And I'd like to talk about, the Jelani Day. I'm going to post a video about that. His case, and his case come out with the Gabby Patino case, but his case didn't get as much media attention as the Gabby Patino case. Um, you think BK's making that up? He could have very well been. I wouldn't doubt anything. I really wouldn't. I always wondered about CW's cousin who was in Wyoming, I think, when Rose disappeared and was listed as a RSO near Ben Hill when Summer went missing. Oh, I've never heard about that one. I've not heard about that one at all. Wasn't Rose supposed to have went to her cousin's house when she went missing? I thought I seen that she was supposed to have went to her cousin's house when she went missing. He does lie. I can tell that he does. That Benny Keys lies. Yeah, I remember them saying that. Can you all hold on just a second? I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Don't leave me. I'll be back. Hang on just one. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. I wish that I could pull pictures and videos up on this platform so we could kind of go over things and videos up here. And I think it would make it better for us to talk about things if we could actually see things. I would also like to went over that picture of Summer Wells in the back seat and explain why I think she was still alive in that picture at that time. And I just think it would be better. And I hope that the platform that I have here does that. I think that they actually do it, but I'm not figured that one out yet. BK loves making a scene, then sits back and laughs about it. Yeah, I kind of figured that he was that way. Um, I don't know. There's just something that he does, and then he's got them cash apps up too, along with the rest of them. And so he's right out after that dollar too. In my opinion, that's my opinion. But I would like to have been able to have a whole like set up to where we could bring things up and talk about them piece by piece. Because like going back to the beginning and evaluating things again kind of helps. That's why they say after years with a cold case that if fresh eyes go onto the case, they usually can see things because the eyes of the other people's been on it so much that they don't look for the new stuff. They just kind of glimpse over it. But if fresh eye look at it, they'll find a fresh eye will look at it. That baby was alive that time. I totally agree with you. Yes, absolutely. And the Hawkins County Rescue Squad actually posted that picture I put in my videos on my page. They posted that picture where she moved her hand, because there's two different pictures and her hands are in different positions at that time. And a lot of people said, "Oh well, you still move after you died." Yeah, I agree, you do, but um, you could see she was pink in there, and it's a different kind of when a person dies. It's like a different kind of white. I mean, she would have been. You could have told really quickly. Her lips would have been purple. Like I seen one nail that was purple, but the rest of the nails wasn't purple. Like I said before, I would have loved to seen her legs, because there's a thing called modeling when a person starts to pass away, and every person gets it, and it's like blue blotches on the leg and on the knees. And when someone passes away or is getting ready to pass away, that usually shows up. But where she had pants on in that picture, we couldn't see it. But anybody in healthcare can see that picture and tell that she's alive in that picture. Now, like I said, she might not have been conscious, like she might have been unconscious at that time, instead of sleeping, but she was definitely alive, like a grayish white. Absolutely. Yeah. Anybody who's seen a person dies can tell if a person is dead or not. And yeah, it's like a they go gray pretty much. They go gray, they go blue. That's why they call it code blue. And then after they're dead for a while, they go completely white. So yeah, she was alive. Her little lips was pink. Her little hands had pink in them. I didn't think her hands was white at all. She's pale in nature, but she still had some pink into her. Yes, she was alive. Her nails had lake mud, like I think. Yeah, it could have very well been, because it was just one nail. The rest of the nails were pinkish white. They wasn't purple. So I very much think, and if she would have been a darker skinned person, it might have been a little harder to tell. But even in an African American person, I can tell if they go pale. You can tell when a person has passed away. Even an African American person, when they pass away, it's a different color, and you can tell um, that they're in distress, or even have passed away. So um, no, I don't think anybody that's ever seen anyone pass away before um, could would say that she was gone in that picture, because she wasn't. She was very much alive. Now, whether she woke up or not, that's a different story. Um, and she could have had a brain bleed. She might have fell and hit her head and got a brain bleed, a hematoma, and may not have woke up. And Candace and Don might have freaked out and done something, took her somewhere. I don't know. That could have very well been the scenario. But Don would have to go all the way back to work, and the time frame just doesn't fit from when Don came and was called at work, and it just the time frame wouldn't have fit. And the boys would have said, "No, Summer never come home. I never seen Summer." So I really think the boys probably did see her. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I could be very wrong. Yeah, thank you, Kay. But but yeah, so that theory is kind of, I mean, if you think about it, Don would have had to, at that time, if Candace would have called him, he would have had to come all the way back from work, take Summer and do something with her, then went all the way back to work. I wonder if they searched his workplace. Does anybody know if his workplace was searched? Because, Chris Watts, look what he did. Because I'm not for sure if they searched his workplace or not. Does anybody know? If they searched Don's workplace, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. And I'm sure that there would have been people there at that time too, as well. Nobody knows what the boys said to law enforcement or what they said after they was in foster homes. Yeah, we really don't know, do we? Thank you, Southern Sassy. Southern and Sassy. Let's see. It was searched. Okay, thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Kayla. I think they did, but not definitely sure. Okay, thank you, G's Louise. Louise. All I know is that guy Jonathan was calling Don's job and getting interviews with Don's boss. Jonathan, is that the Dudley guy? Jonathan Dudley? Or was it Dudley? With Don's boss. Jonathan. I'm not sure who that is. Was it the Dudley guy? Is that who it was? His last name was Dudley? That was a mess. I feel bad that Don lost his job. That really does upset me. Huh? Oh my God, I'm sorry. JRL, the weirdo on Molly Go Lightly. He was calling that? Really? Wow. Jonathan was calling Don's work to get interviews with Don? Wow. I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me. Wow. Yes, they searched the one in Jonesboro, but I don't know about the other job site he worked at. Oh, okay. Thank you, Southern and Sassy. Wow. Protesters. So, yeah, Jonathan was part of the protesters. Wow. They'll stop at nothing. Some of them will. That was awful. No wonder he got fired. All that. Yes, he was calling, and they all were making waves at Don Wells' job. Wow. That's something else. People are just savage. Savage. Some of these people will sell their soul to the devil for money. I swear. If the devil come up and asked them for money, they'd sell it. They'd say, okay. Well, they do. They do it. A lot of the celebrities do it. They did search, but there was a concrete poured shortly after, covering the footage forever. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that concrete that was poured. I did hear about that. Thank you, Patriot 1 2. Thank you. I wonder if that's why he got fired. It probably it probably was, with all the people that was calling him up for interviews and everything. It probably had a lot. I'd say they was getting a lot of calls, probably people calling them, telling them that they need to fire them. Probably even they might even been getting death threats. You never know. Some of these people are radical. I mean, his boss could have very well been getting death threats from people saying if you don't fire him, this is going to happen. You never know. I could see that happening for sure. I have followed this case since day one, June 15th, and it's so crazy now. I'm at the point to just wait till Summer is found or arrest to be made. It's just crazy now. Yes, absolutely. It's gotten out of hand. It really has. It has gotten out of hand. Absolutely. I totally agree. BK not have not has no respect. Sorry, not like that. channel. Oh, you don't like the channel? Apologize for the fan. Apologies for the fan. BK, no, sorry. So you don't like BK? Yeah, you can tell he's a whole mess. He's a whole mess, just like Donna Candace is. He didn't get fired. His boss just told him to leave that day because of the protesters. Oh, I don't know. I thought he got fired, but well, hopefully he'll get to go back to work. I hope he gets to go back to work. As far as I know, Don was not fired. He was asked to leave that job site. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Hopefully he'll get to go back to work because he really needs to work and get better. If they didn't have nothing to do with Summer and Summer's found, then they need to work and get back towards getting their kids back, straightening up, getting some rehab, and get their kids back. I don't think anyone should have been putting pics of the boys now on social media because of the safety for them. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I agree with you, Southern Beauty, on that one. Molly Golightly told them it's very sarcastic way. I'm sorry you lost your job, Don. I'm sorry your baby's dead. That's horrible. That's horrible. Disgusting, vile group. I heard them holler that at Candace, and that really got me. I heard them holler something like that too, and that part is just horrible to me. I think that's awful. I mean, that's going too far, in my opinion. That's going way too far. The paper said Don was transferred to another site. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad because I was kind of worried. Totally agree, Case. So that's awful. I don't know what she's thinking. Why would you say something like that? I mean, seriously, why would you think something like that? And especially, she's got a little bit of a criminal background herself. She ain't no angel, for sure. She's got a criminal background. There's a lot of them that has criminal backgrounds. So I don't understand why she would say something that bad to Don and Candace. I mean, I understand people being upset with them, but I just feel like it was just way too far. Just way too far. It's not going to help Summer come back home. It's not going to help get the case solved. You'll get more with sugar and honey than you will vinegar, honey. They should have been nice to him. Maybe they would have got him to say more. Being nice to him, he'd get on there and do like he did that one time with the 7 alibis and the one witness and the Starlink. Honestly, I believe that too. Anymore, I think it's nothing but a big whole mess. It's a whole mess. I totally agree. Heartbreaking for sure. Yep, it is. The whole case is heartbreaking. And for it to be so close and stuff, um, to our area, you know, and then just all these people are just fighting amongst each other. I mean, it's one right after another. Just so many accusations, so many crazy stuff, fake drama. What do you all think about the fake drama? Do you all think that they're fake fighting on there just to keep drama going? Do you think that they're acting like they're fighting, but they're really not fighting just to get people to watch them? Because that's what I kind of think sometimes that some of them does. Not all of them, but there's some of them that does, I think. Like we said last week, Hills could do billboards with the money They raise absolutely, absolutely. And I thought I heard somebody mention about the billboards today. Was it Benny Keys? Like they wasn't important or something. I don't know. It was something like that he posted, like they're not important. I took it like they wasn't important, but they're very much important. They keep her face out there where people can see as they drive by and say, "Hey, I think I've seen that little girl. I might know that little girl. She might be staying at my house." You never know. Whoever has her could have took her to their house and said that was their kid. You never know. No, it's not real. It's just the way they are. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. You're talking. Oh yeah, I think that they're. I think they're faking the fighting to keep a drama going. Some of them. Actually, I hope they are never get those days back. So sorry, but all those kids was surely neglected in every possible by those parents. They had 9 kids and lost all 9. Give these boys a chance at life. Yep, you could be right. You could be very right with that. Absolutely. They definitely need to straighten up, get some rehab, and have to go through a whole lot to be able to get them back. And especially if Summer's found alive, I do not think Summer needs to go straight back into that home. I absolutely do not believe that she should. I think they are all fake fighting for views, all of them. It was all this week, a new year, and make money. The plans is to fight each other. Yep, I think so too. They all have criminal records. Cam, Ziggy, Molly Golightly, JRL, BHB, Cher, Nerdy, Attic Boy, and I can't even remember them all. Yes, they all work together for views. Yeah, I knew that Ziggy and Molly Golightly and JRL. I heard JRL had some really bad records. That's what I heard. I don't know how really true that is, but yeah, and I would think Benny would have them too. I don't know about the other ones, but yeah, pretty sketchy ones actually. Some of them does. Patriot, yes. YouTube, yep. Save Little Summer. That's what's being covered up. Yep. Everything else is getting in the way of the focus of being on her and all this money. I mean, I seen that blonde woman, that BRB or whatever, today when I watched her. Somebody gave her a $49 cash app or whatever. A $49, $50. Someone just randomly gave her today. And I'm like, whoa, why? Why? Where's it going? I mean, really, where's it going? Where's the billboards at, people? Where they at? They ain't in Knoxville. They ain't in Kingsport. They're not on Fort Henry. They're not on the interstate here. They're not in Sevierville. There's one in Nashville and one down this back road here at Bulls Gap. But there's none where they need to be. They need to be in that area. I went all the way up to Bristol and didn't see a Summer Wells billboard. Yes, from day one. JRL did prison time. Ziggy had multiple DUIs. The Wells are suspects in Summer Wells' disappearance. My God, why are people making a celebrity of them? They are not a celebrity, and that makes me sick. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that goes with any missing child. Look at Casey Anthony. Look at her. She become a celebrity overnight. She's probably going to write her own book. And she got out of murder. They tend to do it. They tend to make them celebrities. I mean, this chick probably got thousands of dollars given to her. I think that like um wasn't it Charles Manson like become a big womanizer, like these women started going gaga over him and Ted Bundy. I mean, they get instant celebrities for this stuff. It's crazy how the human people think, some of them. It makes no sense to me. Thousands have been made off that baby. It's a shame, and they don't even mention Summer's name. Sometimes they don't. There's sometimes I think, is this about Summer or is this about drama? Because I'm not even heard Summer Wells in this whole scenario. Where is this little baby in this whole mess? You know, that's just my opinion. That's what I think. Let's focus about her. Forget all the drama and all the I'm mad at you and I'm mad at you. They're not in high school. We're adults. This is a child abduction case, you know? Come on. This is crazy stuff. How can I get them to leave my town? I need them to go home. Are they still there? Are they still there? Because I heard they left. I don't think they're still there. They may be. So true. Oh, wait. It's going to the line pocket on these YouTubers. Absolutely. MGL got her car fixed to come here from these people giving money to these people who are not using it for summer. Absolutely. Amen. 100%. I mean, I think there was a girl that woman that was up on my panel said that Beanie counted that Molly allegedly made $2,000 in one day off Cash Apps. That's probably why he's got a Cash App now going, in my opinion. But that's what they're saying that one person said Ziggy made 1,600. I don't know. That's just what I heard. But why? What is the purpose? What? I've still not figured it out. It's not an abduction. It's a murder. Yeah, it's looking like it may be possibly. If she's gone, it's definitely a murder. If we do not find her, then it is a murder. If she's still not alive. I mean, they're making a mockery out of it. They're making a mockery out of this abduction. They really are. We need to bring back old fashioned tar and feathering. Yes, yes, ma'am, or sir. I'm not for sure which one, but you're absolutely right on that one. Southern and sassy. Remember this, all this blood money they are making off Summer will always gets taken right back away from the evil people making it one way or the other. You don't profit from evil. And that's the truth. That is the truth. People who steal and stuff, they'll run through that money. But if you get your money honestly and you're a God fearing person, God will make that money last. Your money will last and make it through. You'll make it through. He'll always make sure that he provides for you. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go and do stuff like that. Money ain't always happiness. People are they're making money their God. That's what they're doing. Absolutely. Amen. Patriot said. I mean, I hate to get to be on a preach session here, but I mean, these people will literally sell their souls to the devil for this, in my opinion, for money. I mean, to be able to leave your home, leave your child, leave your husband or wife and travel to another state into a holler where you have no idea where you're going or who's going to be there, into a possible murder homicide area, and to take that bigger risk, you'll do anything for money. You'll do anything for money. Because let me tell you something. I live about 45 minutes away and I'm not going nowhere near Ben Hill Road. I'm not going to do it. How can YouTube and TikTok allow this? Because they are promoting violence. They are literally put up the Wells address and invite people to come there and protest in front of their homes. I don't think they care. In my opinion, I really don't think that they. I mean, I don't think they care. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Let's see. Um, they need to report a lot of these missing kids. Lost real good parents need help to find their children. I agree. They do. I honestly agree. Um, when I get the Amber Alerts, the last few that we have gotten, the kids was found. I think they was taken by family members, and then that little boy. I think we found that. I mean, they found that little boy, but I don't know if they report them all. I really don't. But why are people donating money to suspects of missing child? Don said he makes 2,000 a week. That's 8,000 a month. My God, that's not poor people. I'm sorry, that is an addict. Very true. That's a lot of money to be made. A lot of money to be made. Now, I think he does make that money where he works at, though. I think he gets paid very good money where he works at. And I think that might be why they got the new car and stuff. I'm sorry, wait. As they say, peaceful protesting. No, that ain't peaceful protesting, honey. That definitely ain't peaceful protesting. Let's see. Social media sites are making money with the ads, so they don't care what people do. I agree on that one too. I do. I agree. You would think that certain things, though, like certain companies that put their ads out here, wouldn't want certain things wouldn't want their ads on certain crazy stuff. I wouldn't if I had an ad. I wouldn't want certain videos. I wouldn't want my ads on certain videos. But have y'all ever noticed something though on these things? And I'm not trying to change the subject or anything, but if you go to a Christian channel on YouTube and you watch a Christian video, that when they have a commercial, they'll usually show something really bad on those ads that you'll have to turn real quick. And I'm like, why are they having this evil stuff on this Christian video? Seem like they shouldn't have stuff like that on there if it's a Christian channel or something. I don't know. That just don't make sense to me. But they do. They do that. Peaceful protesting is every American's right. First Amendment, it will stand. It will. And I do agree about peaceful protesting. Peaceful ones, but when they take it too far, they really did take it pretty far, I think. Every child under the age of 17 should be required to have a locator chip embedded. We do our pets, why not our most precious? I thought about that, or putting some kind of tracking devices. Nowadays, they have them on their cell phones. A lot of kids have them on their cell phones and stuff. Um, but, their cell phones get took away. So um, that defeats the purpose. But, or at least have it where they can locate the child. But Summer was at home. I guess they wouldn't have thought to. I don't know. It's. I mean, I don't know. I think some kind of tracking device would be good. It would. I don't know how my mom survived back in the day when there was no cell phone and we would stay gone longer than what we were supposed to. And she wasn't able to just pick up the phone and call us. Because nowadays, if they don't answer, I panic out. Mom will panic out if their kid don't answer their phone. But back in the old days, they just depended on good old getting home times. And but it's getting really bad out there. They're just coming up in broad daylight and taking kids out of parents' arms. They're coming up in stores and just grabbing kids. They don't care. They absolutely don't care. That's how bad it's getting out here. And my advice to anybody that's got a small child: do not let your child walk behind you, because they can take your child faster than what you know. They can grab them and away they go with your child. Anybody local in chat ever heard of Mr. Mullins before this? I haven't. And Mullins before this. I I don't I don't know. Are you talking about the person in the chat? M. Mullins? But yeah, if any of you all haven't subscribed to my channel, if you don't care, I just like a few subscribers from being at 1,000 subscribers. If you don't care to subscribe and hit the notifications, and we can talk more, and that just helps my channel grow and put awareness out there, and we can talk about farm, or we can talk about summer, or we can talk about anything you want to talk about. um, Hopefully in a couple weeks I'll have some little critters hatching out here. I'm gonna post me a video about. I got some eggs in the incubator and I'm hoping to get some chicks. Let's see. She put Southern Texas said, yes, that's my point. Don makes good money at work, but why are people saying the Wells are poor people? They are not poor at all. Bills, cars, insurance, water bills a month. It's nowhere near 8,000. $8,000 is a big lot of money. It is. Absolutely. There are a lot of types of speech that the First Amendment does not protect. That's true. That's true. Never heard of Tim Mullins before. Oh, Tim Mullins. Is Tim Mullins the person that's supposed to be like over Don and Candace's account? Is he the one that's making all the calls? Or is he the PI? I haven't ever figured out who he was. Does anybody know who he is? Thank you, Kayla. He comes out of nowhere. Also, he looks ready, really educated and important in that town. Huh. I don't take but one kid at a time with me to a store, and I stay locked and loaded for me and mine. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. I totally agree with you on that one. The Wells have media managers, Tim Mullins. Oh, okay. Is he professional, or is he just come up on the scene and like BK and decided to be a part of the big shot crew? But it's all spent on dope, not children. Yeah, I really think that that's the truth. I mean, they know, they've even admitted that they've got substance problems. It's been in their past. I mean that I agree they are spending it on drugs. Yes, media manager. So he does have experience in that. I've heard a little bit about him, but I wasn't for sure who he was. I've never heard of him until now. Um, But I know that there's supposedly supposed to be a contract out there that they're making people sign, allegedly. And allegedly, I think somebody said Ziggy might have signed it. I'm not for sure about that. But people supposed to have been signing some kind of contract about it. Well, Southern and Sassy, I used to at first support them, but now I'm starting to think that there's more that they know. I really am thinking that maybe Candace had something to do with this. In my opinion, I'm really suspicious about them and JS and A. I think they all had the cahoots together. That's just my opinion. But at first, I did support them absolutely. When this first came out, I supported them. I thought somebody actually did abduct them. But the more that I study and the more I see and everything that's coming out, I don't think that. I think they're guilty. I think at least Candace is, and I do really think Grandis has got something. And that's just my opinion. But I think that they are, in my opinion, I think they're guilty, or at least know something. You know, Tim Mullins is the editor of the paper. He just retired. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for letting us know that. Tim takes pics of houses for sale. He has a photography business. No one's qualified as a media manager. No qualifications as a manager. Oh, okay. Yes, exactly. Geez, Louise. There is something about Tim I don't get. Never met him. Just unsure about him. See, I've not watched him enough to know about him, so I'm not for sure about him. But I know a lot of people's up in the air about him. I really do. Let's see here. Geez, odd he got involved. Yeah, you would think somebody prominent in that town wouldn't want to get themselves tangled up in a mess like this. Yes, Kay, another shady character on the list. Absolutely, absolutely. He's a member of the SDA church. Oh, okay, okay. Is he the pastor or something? I'm not. I don't know. I don't even. I don't get on Beanie Keys a whole lot or any of those. I'm not familiar with these people, but I appreciate y'all telling me about them, bringing knowledge to them. Let's see. The Wells don't have. The Wells don't have lawyers. Weird. They don't. You would think they would have lawyers. Well, you would think that Candace would have to have a lawyer because of what the charges that she pressed against MGL. Hmm. Tim Mullins is buying the right of this to a documentary of this case, I think. So he's buying the rights to it? Don and Candace ain't going to have the rights to it? Or is he buying it off Don and Candace? And if they sold it to them, he can just go with whatever he wants to do with it. Wow, they're already talking about a documentary. Somebody said last night that they was talking about putting it on Netflix, making a Netflix movie about it. I'm like, surely not. It's only been 7 months. I mean, I know 7 months is a long time, but give the baby a chance to be found if she's. Southern and Sam South bingo. Follow the money. She didn't press charges. She just filed a complaint. Oh, okay. Okay, because I thought she pressed charges against him. Tim Mullins is also in production business. Also, so he'll probably make a documentary or something on Summer Wells' case through Netflix or something. I'd lay money on it. Well, that's what someone was saying last night, that they thought that they was going to try to make some kind of documentary or some kind of show on Netflix. So there you go. There you go. So that must be true. If he's buying the rights to it, I wonder who he's buying it from. Would he be buying that from Don and Candace? Surely it would be Don and Candace, I would think. I don't know. They are just wanting money. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Everybody in this scenario, I think, is just little baby girl. You know, just wanting money. That's all they want. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, it's just one thing right after another. But you all are letting me know a lot tonight. Because there's a lot of things that I don't know about this case that y'all are letting me know. And I thank you so much for it. I appreciate every bit of it. Oh, equal partnership with Don and Candace. Could you imagine how much money, if they put that on Netflix, they're going to make off this baby? They're going to make a lot of money off this baby's case. That's just a shame. That is a shame. Well, I'm trying to find where I left off last. I don't know. It quit highlighting them. The Wells don't have a lawyer. Tim Mullins. Southern. Let's see what this is. She didn't press charges. Tim Mullins. Okay. I've already done that one. They are all wanting money. Absolutely. Equal partnership. Yeah. Absolutely. So there probably is going to be a Netflix movie about this, and then that's going to bring even more crazier people into the case, and it's going to be even more of a mess if they do a Netflix on this. How about put billboards out? I mean, which I know that Netflix will bring awareness to the Summerwells, but I mean, I guess I don't know. What do you all think about it? What do you think about a Netflix show or a documentary on this? Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm back. So, do you all think that there should be a documentary on this, no. Summer Wells? Because I kind of think, I don't know. It This is like a um, soap opera. It really is. It's like a soap opera. There's so many other little kids out here missing. One thing I can say about Gabby Petito's parents, they actually did awareness on when Gabby was missing. They said, guys, I know I appreciate you focusing on Gabby, but let's also focus on other children that's missing as well. So I thought that I thought that was very respectful of them. Netflix is based in Albuquerque, and Candace Wells was there before as a carney. Really, really, just a bit of trivia. Wow. Wow, you all dig deep. I have to give you all that. You all are dig deepers because I did not know that. Thank you for that. Southern and Sassy. He would have to get the rights from Don and Candace Wells. It's absolutely sickening to me. I don't know that for 100% facts, just what I think he is doing. You know what? I think so because somebody mentioned that last night on Netflix. Yes, it is sickening to me. It's very, very sickening to me. I think at this point it's time. It's disgusting. Yep, I do too. I think it is too. It's a whole mess. But some of these people, some of y'all are really good investigators. I mean, y'all find this stuff out. The FBI needs to be hiring you all. Because, I mean, some of y'all are really good at this. Absolutely. Because, I mean, how can you all find anything? I mean, does anyone have any interest in finding this girl? I mean, before thinking about it, a documentary, they totally forgot about Summer and now it's all the money. How awful. Absolutely. It's just awful. It is. It's too much to me. And I mean, especially if that man's part of the church and then trying to make money off this little baby. That's awful. I put nothing past any of these sick and twisted people involved in Summer's disappearance. Absolutely. Well, I think we're all kind of finding out what people on, especially on YouTube, are like, and on the internet, and how people can milk things and just hang on to this little baby. I thought about that the other day and was looking at her pictures and thinking about how people are just making so much money and just using this little baby missing, you know, to get all their money and stuff. Don and Candace lives from Don and Candace lives from one dope high to the next dope high. They have already sold their soul for dope money. They have sold their rights to Mullins for just a big dope score. Could possibly be. I mean, you've got it probably hit right there on the money about that. And they probably got a big money when they sold that off. They probably got big money off that. John Walsh made a career in a movie about his son Adam, but the big difference is he did nothing until the case was solved. He he did it to help others. The Wells don't have that much mortality. Absolutely. John Wells and his son, his other son that was born after Adam, he is actually on America's Most Wanted with him now, and they are fighting child trafficking and missing children and child predators. And he's up there in age, and he has dedicated his whole entire life to find missing children and missing people. So absolutely, John Walsh. Now he's a true grieving father. He's a true good person. And I'm surprised that he's not. I guess he don't want to get in this whole fiasco of the whole Summer Wells thing since it's been on Dr. Phil and everything. But you would have thought that he would have been into it a little more than what he has been, because he was in Gabby Petito pretty a whole lot of Gabby Petito. But he might not want to get in the middle of it either because they've not found Summer yet and stuff. And he might be waiting for them to find Summer and all that. He may still. Somebody said he was going to start doing Summer Wells. I don't know. If he does, he don't need to be paying nobody for it. That's for sure. He don't need to be giving people money to be on it like Jody Sue, like when she was on the news. I wonder if she got paid for that. Some of these people on reality shows, they can make up to $60,000 an episode. I know that that one woman that had them eight Kate plus eight, she was making $60,000 per episode, and she didn't want other people in the show with her because she didn't want to share any of that money. So they can make a lot of money off that stuff, a lot of money. And this little baby missing, and God knows where she is, and if she's safe, if she's even in this country still, you know? What parents does not even go out and search for their own missing child? I'll tell y'all one that don't care for that child is to begin with, and parents that don't want their daughters found. I agree, because if it was me, I would, like I said, I would have been out there. I wouldn't have come home. Well, they would have had to sedate me for one thing, and for another, TBI, what I would have never let that rest. I'd have been like Jelani Day's mom right now. She's fighting every single day for justice for her son, um, because she knows that someone has hurt her child, and she's out there every day being proactive, putting out flyers. They have a Facebook page for him, going to court, fighting, getting people to come together and fight in court because they don't want to rule his death a homicide. And everyone knows that he was killed. He had so much going for him. The Wells also turned down so much help Ellie offered them. Also, that tells us a lot right there. Yeah, I heard that the law enforcement offered to help them so much. And like someone brought it up earlier, is, where is the stickers? Where's the flyers? That's still a question. A lot of people blows me off when I say that. But where is all this? Where is it? Why isn't it here? Where's all of the flyers? Where's the billboards? Where's the stickers? Where's, all these thousands of dollars are being made off of this baby missing, yet there's nothing, you know? I really don't trust Jody Sue. She has been caught in several lies, even by Chris M. Yep, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. She's very, very, in my opinion, sketchy. Very, very sketchy. And I used to think that she was very nice. I thought she was a very nice person until I watched those videos of her before Summer got missing. And if y'all ain't watch them, see if you can go back and find them, and you'll see. I believe Jody Sue knows what happened to Summer. I do too. I absolutely believe that she knows more than what she's saying. She might not have done it, but she definitely knows more than what she's saying. Totally agree at Southern and Sassy. Yep. This case is like a wife or a husband who kills for the life insurance money. Here's it is a child that is worth more to them dead than their lives. Yep, that's true. And I'm going to take a little story, a little experience that I had with a child that had cancer, and he was actually in the family, and he had leukemia, and that little baby's mommy, she used that little baby up until he died for money. You would not believe the things that they did. They robbed a flower shop in the hospital and everything. People was handing them over gift cards, handing them over money. The Cancer Society was handing them over money, and all that stopped after he died. And I think they had a life insurance policy on him. I really do. But it was absolutely sickening to see the things that she done before that baby died to that baby. Wait, geez Louise, did they have a life insurance policy out on Summer? That's a good question. That is a very good question, y'all. Who knows? Maybe the TBI knows. Hello, Rhonda. Good evening from Ohio. Love your show. Thank you so much, Rhonda. I'm going to try to add more to my show. Maybe some kind of video where I can put up videos and we can talk about things step by step. I wish that this thing had more to it. Maybe they'll get more to it. But I would like it to be more lively, and I'd like to interact with you all and see what y'all's opinions, because y'all's are top investigators in my crew right here. They know their stuff. They have learnt me a lot tonight about things. And welcome, welcome. Okay. Hilton has no idea. I had a missing 5-month-old grandchild for 13 days. Oh my Lord. I slept 10 hours, but I searched 24/7 looking for mine until I found him 5 years ago. Oh my gosh. You had to go that long looking for him? I am now his forever mama, legally adopted him. He's 5 years old. Oh, thank God you found him. Thank you, Lord, that you found him. I'm so happy for you. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that trauma, because I know you'll never forget that trauma. But thank God you found him, and thank God you have him now. God bless you. That would have been so scary to have to deal with that. I couldn't imagine anybody that had to go through something like that. That's just way too much for a person to have to deal with. I hate that so much. So you personally know what it's like to lose someone. So you know how someone should be acting. Absolutely. I have to go. Bless you all and have a peaceful, restful night. Missing Hawkins County, Tennessee, 5-year-old, blonde hair, blue eyes, gray pants, pink shirt, Summer Wells, 1-800 TBI find. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Kay. Thank you for all your insight. Come back and visit us. I'm not for sure when I'll have another live, probably tomorrow evening. But please come back and let me know what else y'all find out, and come back and chat with us, because you guys are the bomb.com. Thank you and good night, and you have a blessed night. And yes, we're going to be out here looking for Miss Summer Moon Wells, and hopefully we'll be able to find her. Thank you so much. I've adopted 3 now. Well, good for you. Good for you. I've thought about fostering again. If I get better right now, I'm not doing too good physically, but when I do get better, I would like to foster some children, because I have a farm here, and I really think that farm and animals are good for children. And I want to put them out there collecting chicken eggs for me, because that's what I used to love to do when I was a kid, collect chicken eggs and be around the farm animals and stuff like that. And yeah, when I get better, I definitely want to. I'm considering bringing foster children in. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes, bless you. You are a good grandmother. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. It takes a lot to take on children, I know. I've been there, I've done that, but it's well worth it. Well worth it. And God helps you along the way. He carries you. He really does. No, they don't even pay their taxes or feed their children correctly. What makes you think that they would have life insurance on any? Well, that's true. But But you never know. Some people buy life insurance more than they will anything because, they got plans. That's, you never know. I didn't think my stepdaughter, or, well, I slept it out there, but I didn't think that they had it, but they did. So you never know. You never know what they have. And yeah, that's how come I know so much about the situation because my stepdaughter did. She had a child who had cancer and she used that baby for everything. And yes, I did. I fostered him and took care of him. And she supposedly got better and got him back. And he died at 8 years old. And it's just disgusting to think about it, how they are and what they do and everything she did to that little baby. Because when he was with me, he was doing great. And then he went back to her and relaxed. And it's really sad. Miss Hilton said, "Oh, okay, good night. Kayla Shelton, nice to speak with you tonight." Southern and Sassy, geez, they keep me young. Yes, I can imagine that they would keep you young. Geez Louise says, "Good night, Kay." I don't know, Patriots. I thought that's what somebody said. I thought that's what I read in a mistake. And then Southern Sassy put, "It's a living nightmare. I promise you that. But I give God Almighty all the glory, and you're correct. I'll never forgot it. But I blame CPS for making me give him to his parents because my emergency custody." Yep, yep. I'm in the same situation. That I've been there. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, thank you. Let me see here. Papers was signed, and the cops and DHR would not even help me try to find him. Was the worst point. That's so sad. That's so sad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hello, Miss Farm Life. What is your name or name you? Would you like us to address you? You can call me Daisy. That's my little cow's name. If you want to call me Daisy, or if you want to call me all things on the farm, or whatever, you can call me if you want to. Everyone in here also, do you think you can cover the Harmony Montgomery case? I can. If you want me to cover it, I will. I don't know much about it, but I will find out and I will, because I would like to do other people besides Summer, because I feel like I do want to still do Summer, don't get me wrong, but I do feel like I want to cover other cases as well, because I feel like there's not much more we can go on until there's something new about Summer, other than all the drama. So I would like to cover other cases. If you all would like that, let me know. Because we could go over and over and over again about Summer, and it's the same stuff until the TBI comes out with something new. Um, I would like to cover other cases. Absolutely, I'll go and look her up tonight. Southern and Sassy said, "My emergency custody papers wasn't signed yet, but by the judge yet." So they went ahead and took the kids because the emergency custody papers wasn't signed. Yes, Southern Beauty. Thank you. Um, I've had to go through the emergency custody, but thank God I got custody, and we didn't let her have access to my other grandson. So I know exactly what you're going through. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. The one who had cancer, he and the one I have now went back to the mother. The one that had cancer, he passed away. We got custody. of this one that I have now, and we had to get emergency custody order. So my situation's kind of like yours too. And I would like to foster other children. Oh my God, chicken eggs. Me too. My family would always do that when I was a child. Miss those days. Yes. That was my fondest memories of being a child is grandma would send me out to the chicken house to collect chicken eggs. And so when my husband's grandchildren come over and stuff, that's where I send them. And so they get upset if they don't find them. So sometimes we have to stick eggs in the nest so they'll find them so they can be proud that they found chicken eggs. But a lot of times they find turkey eggs and geese eggs, and because I have all those critters, I have turkeys, geese, uh, ducks, chickens. I have two calves, dairy cow and a bull. I have a goat, a sheep, two goats and a sheep, a golden retriever, and a white shepherd, and a kitty girl that's sassy. I have a lot of animals, and they're all my family, especially the little ones that I hatched last year. All my little baby African geese and my little geese that I hatched last year, they're all my babies. And like, they know me because they bond with me. And when I go out there, they just surround me. They're so cute. Thank Lord. God bless your family. Oh, thank you. Let's see. But yeah, I think it's really good for kids. Get them off the internet. Let them go outside and be around animals. Let them experience the farm life. It's very soothing. A lot of kids don't know how to deal with things, but when they go out and they are around animals and they're involved in taking care of animals, it makes them feel worthy of themselves, and they just love it. I know I loved it, and my love carried on through me. And so I just love my little animals. And I hope that whoever's got Summer's brothers, I hope that they're being very good to them and very careful around them and not letting people come around them and harass them and everything. Yes, I petitioned the emergency custody that takes 3 weeks, but DHR told me I had to let the parents get him that day before the judge signed it, and they ran off all with him and gave him away to someone else. Oh my goodness. How awful is that? Oh my goodness. I think I would have just had a nervous breakdown. And that happens so much. That happens a lot. I'm so glad you got him back. I'm so glad. The Lord was working in your favor. He really was to getting him back, and I'm glad you have it. I love it, Daisy. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, my little calf. She's named Daisy, and I love her little name. Now, I had a little calf just like her named Clarabelle, and we bought her at the auction, and we don't think she had colostrum. The first milk that comes in, they have to get it from their mommy or they die. And we kept her and we took her to the vet and we did IV fluids and everything we could. And that little veterinarian, he tried so hard to save her life, but it was just too late. She didn't get the colostrum that she needed, so we lost her. And it was devastating. It broke my heart. We got her the same time I got my bull calf, but he did okay. He was sick too when I first got him, but we nursed him back to health. But we actually got Daisy from a independent breeder, somebody that raised them. So she was in good health when we got her. She was still partially on the bottle when we got her, but she was eating food too. But Beanie, our bull, we had to bottle feed him, and you bond with them when they do that. Jeez Louise said we used to have critters, but sold them to go RVing. We raised Scottish Highland cattle and Half-finger horses too. Wow, that's awesome. I bet you miss them. I think those Scottish Highlands are beautiful. I think any kind of cow is beautiful too, though. I just love them. I love them. My neighbor's a cattle farmer as well, so I can look out of my front door and see nothing but cattle, and I love it. That's all I want to see. Give me some cows. I actually watched one have birth out here right in my front door one morning. She gave birth to a calf. But yeah, absolutely. Um, there's nothing like farm life, and I think it's good for especially children that's been traumatized, like Don and Candace's little boys. They really need something to help them, with their anxiety and stuff from all this, because they're going to have some post traumatic stress disorder with that. If I ever hit the lottery, I'm building a ranch for unwanted child, and I have always wanted that. Yes, absolutely. That would be wonderful. Just pray about that. You never know. It might come true one day. Or maybe you could just start out small, taking a few children in if you was to get a bigger piece of land, and then um, go from there. Diamond, Diamond Diana, she said, sorry. Oh, you was adopted. Oh, okay. Did you have pretty good adopted parents? I think adoption is awesome. I really do. I think it's a good alternative to some of these little kids that don't have anybody. I think it's absolutely awesome. I do miss them sometimes, but my neighbor runs 14 heads of longhorn cattle, so it's all good. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think one of my neighbors has one longhorn, and they're really pretty. She agrees. I agree. I was adopted. Um, have you thought about adopting yourself, Diamond? Di- Diana? Because usually people that adopt or are adopted, they end up adopting down the line. There's so many kids, especially here in East Tennessee, that needs homes. I mean, there's flyers out everywhere for foster care, and then they have a children's school down here in Sevierville, Tennessee, for kids. So there's so many kids out here. I think if I was to foster any kids, I would want older kids. Um, because I'm older, I would want not so little. Because a lot of people tend to want the little ones, and the bigger kids get kind of left out. And I would be for the bigger kids, um, so I could spend time with them, talk to them, maybe even minister to them and stuff like that. I would enjoy that. But if they wanted to give me a smaller kid, that'd be okay too. A smaller child. But I would enjoy an older child that really needed somebody, to talk to and to guide through life. Because I really think that teenage kids, that's the most important part of their life is their teenage years. That's when they really need their parents the most. A lot of people think they don't, but they really need them for guidance and understanding because they're going through such transition in their life. I mean, but you know, I just hope that Summer's little brothers is doing good, and I'm gonna try to look at that Harmony Montgomery case and see what I can find out about her, and maybe do another live with her on it, or to talk about her. If you all would like to do that, um, I mean, I know a lot of people's here for Summer. We could talk about both Summer and Harmony, or whoever else you want. Like last night, we was talking about we throw a little Jean Benet Ramsey in there. I heard somebody saying, "Oh, it was that detective." No, it wasn't the detective. It was on the news. It was an ex prosecutor, and they was going over the Summer Wells case, and they called Summer Wells case a country JonBenet Ramsey case. And I thought, I mean, it is about getting as popular as the JonBenet Ramsey case. And that in itself is very iffy to me as well with her, that it's been all these years and she's not been found. And really, they still, I mean, they kind of have an idea of who it is, but they really don't know. And I've been back and forth on that one, um, because I've seen some posts that people had mentioned that maybe John Ramsey was connected to Epstein, that they had seen him on some of Epstein's flight attendants and stuff list. So that right there is sketchy, in my opinion. Why would he even associate with Epstein? You know? So that makes me think that maybe there was more going on with that and there was more of a cover up with the JonBenet Ramsey case than what they're saying. Because if that was true, then she was possibly human trafficked. I think there's so much that we don't know more about that case too, that's never ever come out and probably never will come out. And everything that happened on Epstein Island will probably never come out. And all the celebrities that was on that list will probably never come out. And there was a lot of celebrities on that list. A lot. It runs rapid in Hollywood, y'all. What do y'all think? Do y'all feel the same way? Do y'all think that, would you all like to talk about summer, or would y'all rather talk about different things in summer? Because I'm curious about stuff. Let's see. Patriot 1 2 said, story time. My mom sent me out to collect eggs for the farmhands' lunch. I found enough eggs in just one nest. She boiled them up and put them on the lunch table. The nest was my mom's setting hen. Oh no! Did they have chicks in them? I bet you all found all kinds of baby chicks. Because that happened the other day to us. My husband opened the egg up, and there was a blood spot in there, a chick. And they really don't even have to be warm to develop. Oh, I bet they had a bunch of chicks in them. Oh no! Oh no! That had to be awful. Oh, oh my goodness. Oh, I bet your mom was like, "Oh no!" But it can easily be mistaken. I threw an egg away the other day that I found, and it had been cold, so I didn't think it was had anything in it. And when I threw it, I busted it, and it had a pretty good sized baby chicken. And I was like, with it being as cold, how did this baby chick develop? How? Oh yeah, plenty of feathers. I guarantee it. Oh, you didn't know. You did good. You just didn't know that you had roasted some baby chicks. It happens though. It does. You can't help it, especially if you've got fertilized eggs. And if you eat free range chicken eggs, you're going to find sometimes baby chicks in them. Oh my goodness. I bet your mom was like, oh no. Was they pretty good developed? I bet they was, especially if that mommy had been sitting on them. I'd love to find me good. I had some really good satin hens at one time, and the raccoons got a hold of them. And right now, my young hens, I don't know if they'll set or not. I got a lot of them from Rural King because I only hatched one chick out last year, and I think it's a rooster. It's not big enough yet, but I think it is a rooster. But I got some in the incubator right now. This was 1968. Aw. You was only 4. You probably don't remember, but still. Oh my goodness. I bet that's happened to a lot of people too. I do. I believe that. I bet that happens to a lot. I probably about 15 eggs in my incubator right now. I'm gonna do a video. When I candled some of them last night, and um, I thought I might have seen some chicks in there, but I'm gonna wait a little longer to see them. Yes. No, you remember. Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, I mean, it'd be hard to forget. I bet it was kind of traumatizing too. I bet you was kind of traumatized by that. I know I would have probably been traumatized. Oh my goodness. I'm going to put another I'm going to try to switch these banners out. There we go. So we can have a Summer Wells one there. But you guys, I'm going to, my before my throat goes completely out, I'm going to go ahead and end this live for tonight. I do appreciate each and every one of you all for coming out and talking to me. And yes, that is a funny childhood memory. Absolutely. And please come back tomorrow night about this time, or tomorrow night when I first come out around 6, and join me again. I'm going to try to out about Harmony. If y'all have anything else you want to talk about, just let me know. Just if you haven't subscribed to my channel, if you don't care, go back and subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. Um, but yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night, and we'll talk about Harmony. We'll talk about Summer. I'll try to do some more investigations, and we'll try to find out, what's going on. We'll talk a while, or we can talk about farm, whatever. But I do appreciate y'all coming out and talking to me and sharing your stories with me and everything else. Good night to you all, and you all have a good night and stay blessed. Bye bye, everybody.